chi ddeud, mae Caernarfon yn mynd ar y blaen. O, ie, Davies! A mae Davies di stelio'r fuddugoliau. Vincent! Wan gol a ni'n gyfartal yma yn Stadiwm Gwydr STM. Cyfle arall yn Bala, a Fydaki! Nawr mae'n gol. Bright am y gol! Bobl bach! Am eiliad! Hughes, efo'i droi there. Dyna chi gol! Mae diwedd rhan gyntaf tymor wedi cyrraedd o'r diwedd. Ar ôl heno bydd y 12 yn cael ei gwahanu a dyw bron hanner y gyngrair dal ddim yn siŵr os mae'r hanner ucha neu'r hanner gwaelod fydd i cartre am weddill y tymor. 5 clwb dal ynddi, 5 rheolwr dal yn chwysu a 2 o'r rheini yn cwrdd ar gair castell. Quay Connah yn erbyn y Bala. Ni yn y niwl o ran pwy fydd yn yr hanner ucha, a fel allwch chi weld, ni yn y niwl yn llythrenol. Ni'n mynd gael llawer o look gyda gemau yn cael ei gohirio tymor yma yn uwch gyngor Cymru JD. Dos bosib bod e ddim yn digwydd eto. Ar hyn o bryd mae'r gêm lan. Mark Williams sy'n cadw cwmni fi. Noson dda, Mark. Noswaith dda, anyway. Ni'n dros i'n barod. Mae rai ni edrych ar amgylchiadau yn cwmpas ni, a mae rai ni gyfaddau. Mae rai bod yna chydig o amheuaeth am hon.
Wel, fe mae'n edrych yn diol mae'r dyfarnwr yn cnesu fyny fe mo. O'n dweud bod popeth yn iawn, ond efallai wrth i'r gêm fynd yn ei blaen, efallai ddyn nhw'n gorau gwneud penderfyniad, ac so hwnna'n penderfyniad, dwi'n mwyn dweud dadleuol, ond ti'n edrych wwan, os ddim yn gêm ola'r hamar cynta'r tymor, fysa'r gêm yn mynd yn ei blaen.
Ie, achos mae pawb yn chwarae'r un pryd heno, dyna'r syniad. 5 clwb dal yn cystadlu i gyrraedd yr hanner ucha. Allwn ni ddangos y tabl jyst i sefydlu pethau i chi, achos y syniad yw bod pob gêm yn dechrau'r un pryd. Ychydig o amheuaeth fan hyn. O Met lawr i Quay Connah, dyna'r 5 sy'n dal i gystadlu am yr hanner ucha. Mae Met bron yno, gwanaeth golio i plaid nhw. Quay Connah yn gwybod bod rhaid iddyn nhw ennill, ond gyda pob gêm yn dechrau'r un pryd, mae hyn gyda'r potensial i achosi ychydig o ddryswch wedyn ni, Mark.
Yndi mae, ond fel y 2 glwb mae'n rhaid yn baratoi fel bod y gêm yn mynd i blaen, cnesu fyny yn iawn i dy paratoadau yn y stafell newid yn iawn, ac jyst gobeithio fydd y niwl yn codi a fydden ni gael 90 munud i mewn.
Ni wrth ochr y cae, ti wedi bod allan yn y canol, yw'r un peth yn y canol neu yw'n well?
Wel, yndi, eisiau ar y canol rhy 10 munud, ond mae dwi'n mwyn sydd wedi gwella ta gweithygu, ond ia, dwi'n meddwl y rheol ydy, meddwl Tom Owen y dyfarnwr, fod yn gorfod gweld y 2 gol o'r smotyn yn y cylch canol, felly mae o'n dweud bod yn gallu, ond dwi'n sbio ar y cae, fe di ddim gweld y cenwr 10 o'r bella'r cae, ysdyn nhw'n ymosod lawr fanna, felly mae'n mynd i fod yn ddiddorol iawn, so mae'n bwysau mawr ar y swyddogion yno.
Mae mlaen ar hyn o bryd, dewch ni glywed gan un o'r reolwyr, rheolwr y Bala yn gyntaf, Colin Caton.
Well, Colin, it took us a little bit longer than we expected, but we finally reached the final game before the split, and quite simply, it's all or nothing for Bala Town tonight.
Yeah, definitely we need to win the game. It's going to be a tough game. We need to find a couple of goals from somewhere, and it's always a tough game against the Quay, and it'll be no different tonight. It'll be the games that we've played against them, there's been nothing in it. I think it's 2 draws. So it's going to be a tough test, but it'll be a tough test for them, be a tough test for us. So it's make or break, really. We've got to go for it, and so have they.
In terms of everything else that's going on, you've got 5 clubs competing for 3 spots. Is it as simply as win the game, take care of yourselves, and the rest will take care of itself?
Yeah, seems a little bit different having the last game before the split in a midweek game. I think it'd have been a better atmosphere on the weekend, but obviously it's been done tonight. But it's there's a lot of interest, but I'm not sure how many people will be switched on to it tonight.
In terms of Connah's Quay, they of course still have something to play for as well. Are you expecting anything different from them and their approach? Because essentially they've got nothing to lose tonight.
No, we're in both teams are in a similar position. You know, everyone at the start of the season would have put us in the top 6, and 2 of us are fighting to get in there. You know, obviously we both qualified for Europe last year, so it's different times and different places that we're at, so it's important that we try and get in the top 6, and like I say, Connah's Quay will be fighting to get there, we're fighting to get there, and there's a lot at stake, but you know, at the end of the game we'll all know where we are.
Why is it so important for Bala?
Well, every game's important, whether you finish third, fourth, fifth. We want to finish as high as we can, so it's important that we finish in the top six. Anybody who finishes in the top six has got an automatic European playoff place, so it's important. But if you finish top of the bottom six, you're in a European playoff place as well. So there's a lot to play for. I think the Super 12, as it is a really good format, and I think it's good because there's so much to play for in every position. Relegation, top of the bottom six, and then everyone's fighting for European places in the top six. So it's good.
Diolch.
Diolch.
Well, Billy, I'll take you back to a few months ago when you took over. Did you expect to be in this position, final match day before the split, potentially fighting and finishing in that top six?
Probably not. I do feel that the group of players that we have got should be in a better position, but we find ourselves in this position because we haven't been enough clinical in games. So it's we know our objective today. You know, we must win the game.
You've got other clubs that are in the driving seat in terms of finishing in that top six. Does that change the approach for your team today at all? Because essentially you've got nothing to lose.
No, the objective is to win the game. What other results happen at another location, that's in other people's hands, but we need to focus on our job here.
You've spoken about being more clinical. Last two games against Bala, both goalless draws, but that's not what either team need tonight.
No, they're a tough outfit, Bala. Very difficult to play against. They have a certain style of play and they ask questions of you. We have to be on our best today as well.
So much at stake tonight. So much could happen in other games that are also happening across the country. How much of an eye will you be keeping on what's happening during the game?
I just mentioned focus on my own team. The objective is to win the game, and then by the end of the night we shall see what situation we're in.
Top six, we're so used to seeing Connah's Quay at the top end of the table. How much would it mean if you managed to pull it off tonight?
Well, again, it's down to we find ourselves in this position. Connah's Quay have not, over the past years, have not been in this position. They've always found it comfortable being in the top six, but I think it's credit to other teams that the league is a difficult league this year. So it's a very close league, but we shall see.
Billy, diolch, thank you.
Felly'r cyfweliadau gyda'r rheolwyr wedi cael ei gwneud rhyw hanner awr yn ôl, a fel allwch chi weld, mae'r tywydd wedi troi, mae'r llong y nomadiad yn tindroi yn y niwl. Dwi'n siŵr os yw'r capten a'r criw yn feddw, ond dyna'r olygfa fan hyn. Mae'r gêm yn mynd mlaen. Dyna be ni'n wybod ar hyn o bryd, felly newn ni gymryd bod dim problem a croesi'n bysedd, a gobeithio am y gorau, a gobeithio am noson dramatig, disgwyl i bethau newid o ran llawer o glybiau heno.
Wel, dyna da ni'n obeithio, wrth i'r 90 munud fynd yn ei blaen, bod y tîm am cam uwch ben i gilydd, disgyn o lawr, efallai fod Quay Nomads yn y 6 ucha, y Bala'n disgyn allan ar 6 ucha ac yn y blaen, a dyna ti isio wedi gadw diddordeb drwy gydol y noson, ond ti di proffwydo bob gêm wedi sgor, dim ond o.
Beth o'n i'n meddwl, falle ni orffen y noson gyda pawb yn yr un safle, ond wneud lot ddigwydd rhwng hynny. Mae'n ddifur, dim ddifur, y gair yn credu o'r clybiau yma, ond gweld y ddau yma dal ddim yn sicr o'i lle yn yr hanner ucha. O, bydd un o'n ddim yn yr hanner ucha. Sut mae hynny wedi digwydd?
Ia, da ni'n gwybod bod Quay Nomads wedi newid rheolwr ddechrau'r tymor a bod i athroniaeth o ar y clwb yn cymryd amser. A gyfyd mae gynnu fo ffenestr dros llwyddo a chwaraewr i mewn rwan, ond ia, Bala di tan seilio efallai y tymor yma. Ond di
ennill dwywaith yn erbyn y Seintiau Newydd. Dyna sy'n rhyfedd o ran y Bala.
Ia, ti gosod y safon pan ti'n curo Seintiau Newydd, ond mae'n eich di gadw i'r safon yna bob wythnos, nid yn unig yn ebyn y tîm gorau yn y gyngrair, a os dwi'n gallu gwneud hynna, dyna pam efallai bod chdi chwarae ar y lefel yma, ac ti'n codi dy lefel, ond mae'n eich di barhau efo'r lefela yna, dim ots pwy ti wedi gweld tîma eraill yn cyrraedd Seintiau fydden yma, a colli y gêm wedyn pen y bont yn ebyn Llansawel ar ôl curo Seintiau Newydd, felly. So mae'n digwydd i bawb, ond y cysondeb ydi o, a dyna pan da ni wedi gweld Seintiau Newydd dros y blynyddoedd yn cadw'r cysondeb yna ac yn rhedeg i ffwrdd o'r gyngor.
Ia, nhw a pen y bont yn chwarae heno. Newn ni ddim anghofio'r frwydr tu ar brig. Marc yn sôn am safon. Nawr, mae yna chwaraewr o safon wedi cyrraedd Quay Nomads yn yr haf. Rhys Hughes, dachlyn Everton, wedi dod o Tranmere, beth am hwn, Marc?
Ia, mae'n chwaraewr sbesial dydy. Ac y dda weld o yn dod i'r gyngrair gyda gyfnod efo Tranmere, Caer ac yn Ashton yn Lloegr wedyn ar ôl gadael Everton. Di chwarae 10 gêm i dîm dan 11 Cymru o dan y raw page. Felly, mae profiad gyda fo, a mae'r ansawdd gyda fo, pan ti'n cael dyfagu drwy Academy Everton, di chwarae i Gymru ar lefel ryngwladol. A be ti'n ddisgwyl gyn chwaraewr ymosodol ganol cae ydy fod yn gallu sgorio goliau hefyd. A dyna mae wedi wneud. Mae arediad da sgorio goliau yn ddiweddar, a mae'n siŵr bod Cay Connah falch bod wedi arwyddo cytundeb newydd.
Mae'n deimlad falle, chwaraewyr yn dod i'r gyngrair os maen nhw'n cael ei ryddhau gan glybiau llawn amser proffesiynol. Mae fel se, dyw'n ni ddim yn diwedd y daith erbyn hyn. Maen nhw'n dod nôl neu dod i'r gyngrair yn gwybod mae yna glybiau yn llygadu nhw. Mae yna lot o bobl yn gwylio nhw ar hyn o bryd hefyd. Falle bydd yna gyfle arall i Rhys Stevens.
Ie, nath hynna ddigwydd i fi. Troedd eisiau o'r gyngrair i Lloegr, dod nôl a wedyn mynd eto. Felly mae'r cyfleoedd yna. Os ti'n perfformio yn wythnosol, mae clybiau mynd i gadw llygad anna chdi. Dim ots os wedi arwyddo cytundeb newydd. Os yna'n glwb dod i fewn dar chdi cynnig arian offa chdi. Felly di'r clwb yn mynd i al chdi nôl. Ac felly, ia, a dyna mae o'n geisio wneud. Dwi'n trio dangos i ddonia yn y gyngrair yma ac efallai gweld un yn camu nôl i'r adran gyntaf neu'r ail adran.
Ni'n gweld yr olygfa fan hyn yn y twnnel. Ni'n disgwyl y chwaraewyr i ddod allan ar hyn o bryd. Fawr o newid o ran yr amgylchiadau, o ran y tywydd. Mae George Newell yn chwarae i'r Bala. Mae ddeiwch y pen, ond oedd rhaid i rywun wneud i. Credu bod fi'n newid dwy'n un o jokes Nick Parry. Ymddiheiriadau mawr am hynny. Os yw'r gêm yn mynd yn ei blaen, mae yn ddifur gweld hon, Cay Connah, Bala. Barry wedyn ni, mae nhw gyfle i fynd i'r hanner ucha hefyd. Maen nhw wedi cael tymor da, maen nhw'n cwrdd â Holffordd. Met, mwy neu lai yn ddiogel byddwch chi'n tybio, mae angen rhywbeth rhyfedd ddigwydd. Carnarfon yn cwrdd ar Fflint, mae'n un o'r nosweithi cyffroes na. Colin Caton yn canmol y 12, mae'r fformat yma yn taflu rhyw nosweithi fel hyn i chi weithiau.
Yndi, a dyna ti angen rhywbeth i ddiddannu ni ar y gêm ola o'r tymor ac cadw cyffro. Dipyn o siarad i bod mis wedi gyfer gemau cael ei gohirio ar y penwythnos, dwi'n cael ei symud i heno ac yn y blaen. Felly, ia, mae Tomena wedi dod â diddordeb i mewn, a fel ti, mae 5 clwb yn cwffio am le. Ac swn i'n syni gweld efallai Cay Connah yn camu fyny 6 ucha yna.
Mae Mark di sôn am hyn, mae fe'n gweld, Cay Connah yn dod o'r 8fed safle i'r hanner ucha. Ni'n gweld y chwaraewyr fyna jyst yn trafod yn y twnnel. Gawn ni weld os fydden nhw'n camu allan i'r cae ni'n disgwyl nhw. Mae'r gig gyntaf yn agosau mewn cwpl o fnidau. Dewch ni gael gair dan tîm sylwebu ni. Nick Parry a Malcolm Allen sydd fyny yn y pwynt sylwebu. Ni'n mynd go llawer wrth ochr y cae fan hyn. Sut olygfa sydd yna o'r pwynt sylwebu felly, Malcolm? Mark di sôn hefyd wedi awgrymu, y broblem yw, dyma diwedd rhan gyntaf tymor. Chi'n ceisio sicrhau bod yr holl gemau yn dechrau'r un pryd, pawb yn cael yr un cyfle, y chwarae teg yna. Chi'n cael y teimlad, tas e hon yn gêm gyffredin fel petai, Malks, bydden nhw ddim hyd yn ystyried chwarae i falle. Mark, soch am y tro, mae da ni ychydig o newyddion gan y swyddogion. Doedd y gêm ddim wedi cael ei chanslo, na newyddion da. Geith Sioned Dafydd esbonio mwy i ni. Ni gyd ar biger draen fan hyn. Sioned, beth yw'r diweddara felly?
Wel, del ni newydd glywed yn yr eiliadau diwethaf bod nhw am oedi'r gic gyntaf tan 8 o'r gloch. Fel ych chi'n gallu gweld ar amgylchiadau, mae'r tîm dyfarnu just tu ôl i fi fan hyn, y rheolwyr, y chwaraewyr i gyd yn crwydro. Dros i roi syniad o'r amgylchiadau, Dylan, ti draw fyna, a fi ffili gweld ti o gwbl. Felly mae'n bach o benbleth, wel, mae'n benbleth mawr fan hyn, wrth gwrs, gweddill y gemau hefyd yn dechrau am gwarter i 8, ond fan hyn 8 o'r gloch fydd hi. Dyna'r unig gwybodaeth sydd ganddo ni ar hyn o bryd. Gawn ni weld beth yw'r sefyllfa am 8 o'r gloch. Os yw'r newl yma mynd i glirio, ni ddim yn siŵr, a wedyn ni y cwestiwn mawr i beth sy'n digwydd ar ôl hynny, os i ni dal yn y newl yma o fewn cwarter awr.
Diolch Sioned, ni wedi cael ambell i sefyllfa yn barod gyda'r Bala. I gêm nhw'n erbyn Caernarfon, oedd i fod cael ei chwarae diwrnod ola'r flwyddyn. Gath i gohirio 2 gwaith yn y diwedd, oedd rhaid symud y gêm i Landudno. Dyna'r reswm ni ma ar nos Fawrth mwyn sicrhau bod y gemau gyd yn dechrau ar un pryd. Mae'r gemau eraill wedi dechrau heno. Marc, ni'n deall hynny, ond beth am y penderfyniad jyst i roi rhyw gwarter awr fach iddi?
Dwi'n mynd i'n negas i'r clwb eraill a ni ohirio hynna rwan ar ôl nhw'n gychwyn, ond dim yn edrych am dda, dim rai deud, mae'n gyd yn y cylch canol rwan, mae Colin Cater yn pwyntio, dwi'n meddwl a fodio, un ochr, ond mae'n wedi gweithygu, dwi'n meddwl, ys y 5 munud dwytha, a dwi'n mynd gweld hon am dyn ni blaen.
Felly, dyma le ni arni ar hyn o bryd. Ni wrth ochr y cae fan hyn. Caer Castell, Flint, reit wrth ochr y dŵr hefyd. Pan mae'r tywydd na'n dod mewn, o'n i'n cyrraedd ma rhyw 6 o'r gloch, newl ar yr A55, a chi jyst yn dechrau meddwl, sgwn ni os na broblem. Y cyfan yn clyrio, ond yn yr hanner awr ddiwethaf, fel allwch chi weld tu ôl i ni. Mae'r newl wedi dod lawr unwaith eto. Gemau ola, rhan gynta'r tymor. 5 clwb dal yn ceisio cyrraedd yr hanner ucha ar gyfer yr ail rhan, a dyna pam mae mor bwysig bod nhw'n rhoi'r cyfle gorau iddi hyd yn oed os yw i'n dechrau yn hwyrach. Mae werth rhoi bob cyfle posib i'r gêm a ddechrau.
Yndi, mae'n eich edrych ar ddiogelwch y chwaraewyr hefyd. Da ni'n gweld lle mae'n cornel ochr bell ar cae fan'na. Ac os ti eisiau chwarae pel eto os o fama i dasgellor ochr bell, sgyn ti'n syniad lle mae o'na, lle mae'r amddiffynwyr, ac hefyd sy'n edrych ar y dyfarnwr cynorthwyol, so mae o'n gallu gweld os o'r un yn cam sefyll ochr bell ar cae. So maen nhw'n gorfod cymryd pethau fel i ystyried hefyd, felly so mae'n edrych yn ddigalon i fod yn onest. Mae
yna hanes rhyw gêm yn gwpan Lloegr blynyddoedd maith yn ôl. Gath y gêm i gyhirio, a y gol geidwad un tîm dal allan ar y cae, goffodd y swyddogion mynd i weithio fe'n ôl rhyw 10 munud bod y gêm wedi gyhirio. Mae'n teimlo falle rhywbeth tebyg heno hefyd. Y Bala yn erbyn Caernarfon yw'r gêm sydd wedi cael ei gyhirio 2 gwaith. Dyna pam mae'r gemau i gyd yn cael ei chwarae heno. Chwaraeon nhw'n y diwedd, Bnawn Sadwrn yn Llandudno, gorfod symud y gêm. Caernarfon yn ennill o 2 gol i ddim. O leia ni chi gweld beth sy'n digwydd fan hyn. Felly bydd y Bala ddim eisiau gweld hon eto, Marc. Be ddigwyddodd iddyn nhw?
Ia, tydden nhw ar ei gorau yn y gêm Sadwrn, ac tydden nhw ar ei gorau ar y diwrnod. Ond eich wedi clod i Gaernarfon, ond nhw wedi gwneud y gwaith cartra, a oedden nhw well tîm ar y diwrnod. A oedden nhw heiddi ennill y triffwynt. Gath Bala gyfnod am ryw 20 munud o teg a diwedd y gêm taro'r postyn ar eich bach y bwysau ymlaen, ond ia, o'r llawer yn ymosodol i'r Bala prawn Sadwrn, a Gaernarfon, mae gafon o'r cyfleon, dyle'r golwr, dyn ni tipyn gwella fan'na na nath o, ond tynnu di byd wrth ergyd Adam Davies, ac dyna pam da ni ar ôl yr oll gêm a gath i gyhirio yn y Bala.
Ie, a hon wedi cael ei oedi am ryw gwarter awr, a maen nhw'n mynd i weld beth o'r sefyllfa erbyn 8 o'r gloch, fel allwch chi weld. Y trafod yn parhau yng nghanol y cae. Marc a Malcolm di sôn, tas yn gêm gyffredin, dwi'n credu byddai'r gêm wedi cael ei gohirio, ond mae yna obligadau o ran y toriad yn y tymor, ond wrth gwrs, dylen nhw gymryd pob gêm ar ei sefyllfa ei hunain. Mwy o mateb nesaf, ni wedi gweld Sioned Dafydd, ond ni'n mynd i gweld ni, achos mae'n bell i ffwrdd yn y niwl. Ond y cwmni heno yn arbennig dros ben hefyd, mae cyn-reolwr Quay Connah gyda ni. Arwr Manchester City, Andy Morrison sydd gyda Sioned.
Diolch, Del. Andy, so great to have you as a part of the Scorio team tonight. There's never a dull moment in Welsh football, is there? What do you make of the conditions and the situation we're in at the moment?
Well, it was similar to this when I arrived, and then it lifted, and it looked like, there'd been no problem. The last sort of half an hour, it's come down again, and yeah, it's a difficult one. How long do you leave it before, players' preparation, timing, and everything that goes on with it? So I'm not sure exactly what the rules are. I think, if the linesman's got to be able to see the far side for offsides. Apparently you've got to be on the centre circle and see all 4 flags. If that's the rules, then, I don't think the game can be played.
Yeah, the visibility is atrocious at the moment. Andy, if you were in the manager's position now. If this was your team playing, where would your head be at the moment?
Well, my head would be at the referee and I'm waiting for instructions because, you know, at the end of the day, there's rules and there's guidelines that have to be followed. And if the game's on, it'll be because it can be played. You know, if they can't see what they're meant to see, then they'll call the game off. And, you know, let's hope it lifts. I'm being optimistic here, but I think it's lifting a touch. I really do.
I love the optimism, And of course, it's such a huge game, so much at stake tonight as well. Again, if you're the manager, how are you managing your players in this situation just to keep everyone focused on the task at hand?
I mean, I think all the preparation's all been done, hasn't it? You know, they've had days now. I mean, obviously Colin played at the weekend and Connah's had a little bit longer to prepare. But listen, what's meant to be will be. I was just saying that, just speaking to the managers earlier on, you know, and, you know, if it's off, it's off. You just got to deal with it. But they're going to give it every opportunity. You know, the players are coming back out now, so fingers crossed we're going to get a game.
We'll pretend that it is going to happen, obviously. Just in terms of the game, what are you expecting? Again, like we said, so much at stake. And two clubs, we're always used to seeing them in that top six, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think the great thing is they're pretty clear in what they have to do. You know, of course, they're hoping that Haverfordwest get a result against Barry. But, you know, there's no, I think it's more difficult if you're trying to hang on for a point to get you in. You know, it's a little bit of indecision. You know, if you come, your job is to win the game, and if you win it, you know, and obviously Harvey West win, then you're in for Connah's Quay. So that's pretty clear, and I think that's the best way for it to be. And the same for Colin. You know, if Colin wins a game, they're in. So, you know, it sets up to be a great game.
Of course, Connah's Quay, a club that's so close to your heart. Andy, just in general, what have you made of the season that they're having so far?
Well, I think, obviously, with it being Connah's Quay and the record over, you know, the best part of a decade now, you know, they're not expected to be where they are. But, you know, I really believe it's a transition period. You know, I think it followed on for me with Craig and then into Gibbo. And there was always going to be a period where, you know, they're going to have to reset, you know, and I'm thinking about Manchester City where they're at the minute. Like, you know, nothing goes on forever. Nothing goes in straight lines. Sometimes you have to take a step back at times to rebuild again. And I think that'll come down to the owner's appetite to go again.
Well, we'll wait and see what happens with this game, because we might have an in-depth chat about Manchester City later on, Andy. Andy, thank you so much. We'll speak to you later on. Dylan, nôl at ti.
Sioned, diolch yn fawr iawn. Hyfryd cael Andy Morrison gyda ni. Gemau eraill wedi dechrau, a gyda llaw, fel oedd Andy yn gweud, rhyw deimlad falle bod y niwl na yn codi, yn edrych bach yn well. Reit, gemau wedi dechrau, goliau wedi bod. Y Bari'n seithfed yn colli gartre yn erbyn Holford. Ben Amoun di taro yn y funud gynta. Mae hwnna'n gol fawr, yn hwb o ran y Bala hefyd, Canarfon, mae'n golygu falle bydd y dim hyd yn oed roed nhw ennill i fod yn y chwech ucha, ac hefyd yn helpu Quay Nomads os yn dod i hynny.
Ia, mae hynna yn ei fynd yn gwneud mae'n eicon o amser ar ôl does i'r clybiau fel y Bari ddod yn ôl i mewn i'r gêm yna, ac so ddim syndod efo Pen y Bont, so mae dre newydd cael tymor siomedig dydi.
Wel, o ran hynny, Pen y Bont ar y blaen yn erbyn y dre newydd o gol i ddim. Mae wedi colli 8 o 9, un gêm gyfartal. Mae'n record drych chi'n ebys. O'n i'n edrych ar clybiau'r canolbarth na. Aberystwyth a Dre Newydd, y clybiau sydd wedi bod yn y gyngrair o'r tymor cynta. Yn mynd i weld y ddau yn diflannu tymor yma?
Wel, mae'n berig amdani ffordd mae pethau mynd. So, dwi wedi chwarae'r ddau y glwb yna hefyd.
Wel, i bawb bron.
Ond y Saint Sioms a'r ddau...
A sgorio i bawb, gyda ni sôn.
Yn disgyn allan o'r gyngrair, ond ia, mae rhaid nhw afal yn ei does. Mae gynnu nhw'r ffenestr dosglwyddo, mae gynnu nhw 10 gêm o'r tymor y meddill yn erbyn clybiau yn y 6 isa na, a y Llansawel, maen nhw arediad da, maen nhw wedi arwyddo chwaraewyr da yn barod dechrau mis Ionar, so mis Andy Dyer yn arwyddo yn y ddau arall i gryfhau y garfan, ac ella fydden nhw allan wedyn llygadu y seithfa tafla yna. Mae ddigon o gemau, mae ddigon o bwyntau i chwarae amdan, ond mae rhaid i Aberystwyth a'r Dre Newydd gael chwaraewyr i mewn oherwydd os na, ydyn nhw am mynd lawr yn anffodus.
Andy Morrison yn sôn am y cyfle i ail ddechrau reset na, falle bod ail ran y tymor yn gyfle o ran hynny. Ni wedi cael rhyw oedi fan hyn. Maen nhw'n mynd i edrych eto am 8 o'r gloch. Niwl yw'r broblem ar gair castell. Andy Morrison yn sôn teimlad falle bod y niwl na yn codi, a mae'n deimlad falle bod y swyddogion, wel, dim lot o ddewis dan nhw, ond o leia rhoi cyfle, rhoi rhyw gwarter awr i weld os yw pethau'n gwella. Dwi'n eisiau proffwydo, mae'n edrych bach yn well allan yna.
Do, mynd a dod mae o mewn cyfnodau, oedd i fel ma ryw awr yn ôl dweud, oedd ni'n deud o fydd i mlaen, wedyn nath i'n waith, wedi wella eto. Ac dyna mae'r fydd nhw'n gorfod cymryd i ystyried ydy mynd i weithygu, ydyn nhw'n edrych ar ragolwg yn y tywydd, tra maen nhw i mewn yn y stafell newid, ac os ydyn nhw'n dechrau'r gêm, a nhw'n gorfod cymryd diogelwch y chwaraewyr i ystyried y fan yma, oherwydd dyna diwedd dydd, a gêm yn cael ei gyrio efo'r eira a gwynta glaw. Dyna Nick Pratt bod o'n gorfod cymryd diogelwch y chwaraewyr i ystyried, a dyna pam gafodd y gêm na i gohirio hanner amser yn y Bala, felly mae yna yn benblath i Tom Owen a'i dîm heno.
Fel Andy Morris yn sôn, fel ni wedi sôn bron a bod, os dim ots beth yw'r sefyllfa o ran cyd-destun y gyngrair, diogelwch sy'n dod gyntaf, yn amlwg mae dyna fydd y prif ystyriaeth gyda'r swyddogion.
Ia, dyna fydd yn cefn i meddyliau nhw. Maen nhw eisiau'r gêm mynd yn ei blaen. Mae pawb eisiau'r gêm mynd yn ei blaen. Ond mae rhaid nhw'n cefn i meddyliau feddwl, os o rhywbeth anaf difrifol yn digwydd, yn ganol y niwl, dau chwaraewr yn mynd i mewn i gilydd, cael cyfergyd ac yn y blaen. Mae yna wedyn gofyn cwestiynau mawr wedyn ar y penderfyniad maen nhw wedi gwneud.
Reit, dyna ni. Ni'n dal i aros i weld be fydd y penderfyniad fan hyn, yng nghanol y cae. Dewch i ni glywed gan un o swyddogion y gyngrair nesaf. Dewch i ni glywed gan Jack Sharp a'r cyhoeddiad ddoe ynglyn â'r gystadleuaeth newydd, Cwpan y Gyngrair yn cael ei ailwampio. Maen nhw gam yn agosach o ran hynny. Ystyried yw cael Caerdydd, Abertawe, Wrexham a Chasnewydd yn y cwpan yna, a lle yn Ewrop yn y fantol iddyn nhw. Dyma gan Jack Sharp i ddweud.
Tell us a bit of exactly where we're at and how hopeful are you that we're going to see this project happen in a season or two?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's lots of dialogue going on with a lot of external bodies, a lot of other governing bodies, UEFA, the FA, the EFL, the Premier League, to get us into the position now where we're very comfortable with what we're putting forward to the FA to make a decision upon. Obviously, we're talking around a body which has 4 clubs in their competition. They've got to also be aligned with the project outcomes and what we're trying to achieve here. But we've had some really exciting conversations with UEFA, with Welsh Government and UK Government on why this would benefit Wales in its entirety.
Tell us a bit more about those hurdles with the FA, the Premier League, for example. What conversations are being had, and do you see them supporting this? Have you had any dialogue in terms of that?
Yeah, we've had really professional, positive conversations to date around this. We understand from their perspective they will be looking at fair play from their leagues and in perspective around finances that come in through potential winners of the new revamped FAW League Cup. We also know that fixture scheduling is something that's at the forefront of everyone's mind at the moment, but we've been able to provide answers and reassurances to all of the questions that have been put forward to us. So we believe that we've got ourselves in a position where things which may be seen as problems or challenges, I should say, we've got solutions to ensure that there shouldn't be any blockages put in this pipeline for Wales to really flourish on a European stage in club football. There are so many people out there that care about their own football club and will see things through the lens of their own football club. I very much see myself as a club man in terms of the background that I've come from. But I think what's really important here, the decisions that we're trying to make here are always with the best interest of Wales in mind. Our game is in a really great place at the moment in terms of some of the developments that have happened in the last 12 months, the direction of travel that we've set out to go. There is going to be a third cup competition that we look to bring into our own domestic football calendar, which brings in the Tier 2 clubs. My views on this would be bringing in the Cymru Premier clubs who are not participating in Europe that season, as well as extending the wild card and under-21 opportunity to the EFL clubs and others potentially to come into it. So we want to have something that absolutely replaces this. The Nathaniel MG Cup, without that full name, is the Cymru Premier Cup. That's what it's historically been known as. And so our job is to make sure that we aren't actually putting barriers in the way for any of the other clubs who may not be in this new revamped competition, but can still provide an environment where they feel very closely connected to their peers around them and have a competition structure that enables them to get new experiences and new things from the game, which hopefully propels clubs in Tier 2 in particular on a journey towards being a future Cymru Premier club.
Finally, Jack, in terms of the timeline, is there a deadline where you'd like to get this over the line, or what do the next few months look like in terms of discussions, etc.?
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's absolutely full on at the moment. I would like to think that we have done the governance bit externally in the next couple of months to be able to then share what a true timeline then looks like for implementation and what things look like in terms of the real detail. We've got to go back really, really importantly, we've got to go back to our Cymru Premier clubs with the final details of this. When we all met in September, this is when We flirted this project with them. There was a unanimous agreement that the concept of this project was the right thing to do to drive our game forwards. I've now got to return to the table post approvals with all of those details to ensure that everyone in this process is really, really happy and feel that they're being looked after with this. So that will unfold over the coming months, and I'm sure we'll be able to say more kind of into Q2 of 2025.
29, Eddie Clark. OK, y newyddion diweddara yw bod y gêm yma yn mynd i cael ei chwarae a mae'r gêm yn mynd i ddechrau cyn gynted a sy'n bosib. Mae'r rheolwyr, y dyfarnwyr i gyd wedi bod yn trafod. Mae'r ddau dîm wedi penderfynu aros mas ar y ca. Felly, Dylan, y newyddion da iawn yw unrhyw funud nawr ni'n mynd i fod yn barod i fynd.
Sione, diolch yn fawr iawn. Reit, mae wedi troi 8 o'r gloch. Mae'r gemau eraill wedi dechrau, ond bant ni, Marc, o'r diwedd.
Ia, o'r diwedd, faint o chwarae gawn ni sy'n gwestiwn. Da ni'n gallu cychwyn y gêm, ond i fod yn onast, swn i'n sy'n gweld ni'n gorffan. Hanner cyntaf sôn am y 90 munud.
Ie, byddwn ni'n hoffi dweithio chi bod gwydyr Marc yn hanner gwag, nid yn hanner llawn, ond fi'n dieddol o gytuno. Mae'n anodd iawn dadled ar asesiad yna, ond o leia maen nhw'n mynd i ddechrau, a mae'r Bala wedi cael hen ddigon a hen hanes o hyn, gem yn cael ei gyhirio yn ddiweddar, ond chreuwyr ar y cae, y ddau dîm yn barod, ond tîm sylwebu ni yn barod hefyd. Dwi'n siŵr faint maen nhw'n gallu gweld o'r ochr bella y cae. Fi'n credu, ni draw atyn nhw, jyst i osod y llwyfan fel petai. Mae'r llwyfan bach yn niwlog ar hyn o bryd. Chi wedi gweld Andy Morrison gyda Bryn Thomas yn sylwebu yn Saesneg heno. Andy Morrison joins us tonight, former Connah's key manager, Man City legend. He's with Bryn Thomas ac yn Gymraeg hefyd. Chi wedi gweld a clywed gan Malcolm Allen. Dwi'n methu gweld bod e ddim yn bell wrthau. Wrth ochr Malcolm Allen, mae Nick Parry. A Nick, pob lwc.
Well, Dylan, thank you very, very much. Andy, I'm not sure what we've got ahead of us. I mean, you can see from the pictures there, we'll just have to guess what's going on.
Yeah, it's just coming in waves, isn't it? 1 minute it looks like it's lifting and then it thickens up again. But listen, the referee's made a decision. He feels it's safe. He feels his linesman can see across the pitch. So let's crack on with the game.
One change for Connah's key, Billy Painter makes one change. Dan Roberts drops to the bench from the team that lost against Penybont in the last game, 1-0 away on January the 4th. In comes Noah Edwards, back after serving a suspension. Colin Caton makes two changes from the team that lost 2-0 on Saturday. A home game played at Llandudno. Kieran Lloyd is suspended, so Eddie Clark's in for him. And Osebi Abadaki goes to the bench and Joe Malkin comes in. Connah's key lineup, Andy?
Yeah, I think that's to be predicted. It looks 3-4-3 there, but I think it's more of a box, sort of a 3-box-3. And yeah, I'm not seeing too much of Connah's key, but it's what I expect.
And for Bala?
Yeah, I mean, Collins 4-2-3-1. Yeah, it's similar. There's faces there that have been around for a long, long time. I'm interested to see Eddie Clark because I know he's a very talented lad. Be interesting to see what he produces tonight.
John Disney, he's a good servant for Connah's key. You know him very, very well, of course, Andy.
Yeah, outstanding. Not just a footballer, but as a man as well. And a great leader. Been at this club now for many, many, many years, and he's right up there with the George Orans. And the legends that rightly have got their name in that position at Connah's Quay, and this is definitely one of them.
And Joe Malkin, former Connah's Quay player, he'll be up for it tonight playing for Bala. Absolutely.
I mean, they've got a physical presence. I mean, in Newell and Malkin, they're both 6'2", 6'3", both physical. So there's going to be a major threat there on set plays. I'm just looking at Harrison in midfield as well. Looks a decent unit. So yeah, it's going to be a competitive, physical game.
Well, we're off here at the Essity Stadium, the home of Flint Town United and also Flint Mountain and Connah's Quay Nomads. And as Dylan said, I'm joined by former Connah's Quay manager Andy Morrison. And we'll try and bring what we can to you. We're actually sitting on the opposite side from the cameras, so we can see what's happening on this side, Andy, which is the opposite side to what you're seeing on the telly there.
Yeah, so we're getting a chance to get an idea of what's going on, but I'm sure it's the same for the boys in the gantry. They probably can't see over to this side. So definitely interesting. I mean, I've not experienced a game like this before.
Well, there has been an early goal. The other games that kicked off at 7:45. The Barrytown game was a little bit late starting, but they conceded in the first minute. It's Barrytown 0, Haverfordwest 1, and it's Ben Armon after a minute. Penybont are ahead by a 1-0 at Newtown as well. And to make things clear, Connah's Quay, they have to win tonight and hope that Barry lose against Haverfordwest in order to climb into the top 6, whereas Bala, a win would secure a place in the top 6. If Barry lose, a point would be enough as well. So at the moment, Ballatown are in the top 6.
Yeah, I think it suits it better to know that you've got to win the game, you know, rather than maybe hanging on for a point. I think it's clear now. Connah's Quay know what's expected, and we're just looking, we can't see a thing on the other side. But
absolutely nothing. It's Aaron Williams, I think, with the ball into the box. It was Disney in on the challenge with Eunice Cargbo, and I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of radio commentary here, Andy, and just explain where the ball is on the pitch. It's down the right-hand side, and it's played back to the keeper by Noah Edwards, back to George Ratcliffe from the left-back position.
I think if as long as it stays on this side, we're fine, aren't we?
Yes.
And just put some discs down and just half the pitch off. Yeah.
Oh, it's on the right-hand side now with it's Aaron Williams. And I think that's Louis Robles, who's doing the defensive duties, gets the cross in to the near post, but that one goes out on the full. And we've played 2.5 minutes. Will it last the 90?
Well, I think if it gets any worse than this, you know, obviously you've got player safety, but you've also got to understand that I think that, you know, the rules that are in place, and if it goes beyond that, where the referee can't see the corner flags and the linesman can't see the far side of the pitch, then I think it takes care of itself, really.
Colin Caton on his phone there, and I think he's just keeping a check on the scores in the other games as Ballatown press down the left-hand side. Malkin with the ball back into the box, and it just runs out for a throw-in on the left-hand side for Ballatown. And obviously the referee tonight, by the way, is Mr. Tom Owen, and he obviously felt that it was safe enough for play to continue. It was Eddie Clark with the cross into the box there. It was comfortable for George Ratcliffe, and it's on the halfway side line on that left-hand side with Rhys Hughes. Wow. Oh, what a goal! Wow. Oh, what a goal from Rhys Hughes! He saw that Joel Torrance was a few yards off his line. He picked it to perfection. The league's top scorer scores his 11th goal of the season after 3 minutes. Andy Morrison, what a goal!
Well, that is quite staggering goal. Unfortunately for us, it's on this side, so we get to saw it. But it's an unbelievable first touch, and then awareness to be able to execute that kind of quality. It's a shame we can't see it on the... We actually got to see it, and that was absolutely magnificent.
Well, I'll give you the replay. Rhys Hughes, he was on the halfway line. He was on the left-hand side of the circle. He was just on the edge of the circle. He just one look, saw that Torrance was off his line, and he just dipped it perfectly under the bar. Oh, well, it's a shame, really, Andy, that we couldn't really see that properly, because that could have been, well, it is one of the goals of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a straight ball where the keepers tried to get Connah's Quay in behind. Nathan Peets headed a ball down into midfield. The first touch from Hughes is magnificent, but then to have that kind of awareness and then execute it, absolutely magnificent from the young man.
And one thing it proves, you can see the goal from the halfway line, obviously, because he was fully aware that Torrance was off his line. Nathan Peet plays the ball down the right-hand side, and it's Ben Nash and Joe Malkin coming together on the touchline on the right-hand side, just on the edge of the penalty area. Nash plays it across the 6-yard box to George Ratcliffe, and now it goes to the far side to Aaron Williams. Williams just across the 18-yard line. Marriott, just the ball just stuck under his feet there, just almost dispossessed by Aaron Edwards, two former TNS players, two very, very experienced players. And here's another one, John Disney. Disney just ventures forward, crosses the halfway line. He was aware of Cargbo behind him. All played out to Aaron Edwards. Ball just nicked off by Max Woodcock. So 6 minutes played. Now here we can see the goal from another angle here. Picks the ball up and then control. Oh, Andy Morrison, what a goal.
It's brilliant, and it's such a shame that we've been robbed of not being able to see something that was just so special. And the young man as well.
Yep.
Won't be able to have that one in the locker, I don't think.
Yep.
But we saw it.
Top scorer, league top scorer, 10 goals, and he's also up there with goal assists as well. Goal contributions, that's his 14th goal contribution or goal. It's Newell into the box. Ball's played square loose in the penalty area, and it's cleared away only as far as Nathan Peat in the centre circle. Out to the right hand side to Ross White, lifts the ball up to the edge of the penalty area, and I think it was Robles who was in there. There's going to be a lot of guesswork this evening as Rhys Hughes just picks the ball up once again, just in that little pocket, plays the ball square, looking for Woodcock. Woodcock just brought down on the edge of the penalty area. Nathan Peat was in there, and it's a free kick for Connah's Quay Nomads in a dangerous position right on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, right in Hughes' line, but it was a great first touch as well. He took the ball on the run, found it, great bit of skill there, just to invite the foul. And well, if you wanted a position for Rhys Hughes, I think you've just been given it there. This is a fantastic opportunity for him, and especially in this kind of conditions. I think if he misses the wall, the pitch is that quick, it's going to be difficult to stop this.
Well, I think you can see where this is going to be taken from. You've got Chris Marriott on the left foot. You've got Rhys Hughes, whose confidence will be sky high at the moment, and it's on the edge of the D, so it could be one or the other, obviously. I think it's going to be Hughes. Hughes goes alone! Oh, once again, Rhys Hughes. Everything he touches turns to gold.
When I just said if he misses the wall in these conditions, but I'm not too sure that the keeper can have had his wall, because it's gone down his side, but maybe it's such disguise on it. What a great start. Wow.
Well, let's have a look again. Well, it just went past the wall, literally to the left of the wall. The wall didn't move, the wall didn't jump.
No, I think the keeper's guessing that he's going to go over the wall. I mean, if that's the side that you're protecting, then you must make sure you've got the other side covered. Yeah, I think that's a goalkeeping error, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, the placing of the wall clearly wasn't right. And you know what? As things stand, Connah's Quay Nomads are up to 6th in the table. They've leapfrogged Barrytown and Bala in the live table, both on 29 points, but Connah's Quay plus 10 goal difference, Bala plus 3 goal difference. So at the moment, Bala dropping out to the top 6.
Yeah, it's a brilliant start from Connah's Quay. You know, you're obviously reliant on Haverfordwest doing the job for you, but it's just the perfect start.
Now, bad news for Bala is that Barrytown, and it's Ryan Kavanagh who's equalised in that match. So it's Barrytown 1, Haverfordwest 1, and that means that Barrytown, we'll see the live table, here we go. So yeah, it's bad news for Connah's Quay and Bala, and it's just going to change all the time throughout the game, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's tougher, I think, for Barry to actually manage it, you know, knowing that a point gets them in. Really difficult how you go about that.
So Caernarfon 5th, Barry 6th at the moment, with Connah's Quay 7th, and Bala at the moment are dropping from 6th down to 8th is Marriott. Marriott just looking to get his cross away. Falls again for Noah Edwards. Oh, good save by Torrance. Snapshot from Noah Edwards. And keeper got his angles right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrific start, but I don't think Bala have actually turned up at the moment, Bryn. It's just all Connah's Quay, and every time they get into the attacking third, there's shots off, there's movement, there's no real shape at the minute. And it's really important that Bala keep this down to 2, because the game could be all over very quickly.
They're shell-shocked, aren't they? They're absolutely shell-shocked.
there's a bit of discussion going on with the bench, and Aaron Edwards getting a bit of instruction because they are just getting run all over.
Well, there's a throw in to Bala on the halfway line. Well, it's a free kick, actually, just inside the Bala half, just to the right of the centre circle. It's on the far side in the fog there. And it's Nathan Peat, the Bala Town captain, right-footed, lifts the ball up to the edge of the penalty area. And it's... I think it's Chris Marriott, I should say, on the far side. So at least we got that advantage, Andy. We can see what's happening this side, and we can see from the cameras what's happening
probably in the
side.
last, I'd say the last hour, this is probably the best it's been.
Yeah.
You know, we're able to see the corner flags now, so that's really promising.
Yep. Aaron Williams with the throw in. It'll drop to Callum Brackley. Brackley just closed down by Cargbo, and it's Kyle Harrison back to Joel Torrance. He's been beaten twice by Rhys Hughes' strikes. The first one, well, it's a shame we can't really see it properly, but it's an effort from the halfway line, and just caught the keeper on the edge of the 6-yard box and flew over his head. Approaching the 12-minute mark. And it's Ben Nash. Nash, ball down the right wing, looking for the run of Aaron Williams. That one goes out, and it's a throw into Bala Town. So in the other matches, it's Newtown 0, Penybont 1. 0-0 between Caernarfon and Flint. 0-0 between Cardiff Met and the New Saints. And as we were saying, Barry Town 1, Haverfordwest County 1. And the others, of course, well, Newtown, they played 31 minutes, Caernarfon 32, Cardiff Met 30 minutes and 28 at Barry, and we're into the 12th minute here. So at least both sides know what they need to do, Andy.
Yeah, and I think that's before the game, really. You know you've got to go out and not hoping that anybody else is going to do you a favour.
Callum Brackley on the edge of the penalty area, lays the ball square. I'm guessing that it's it was John Disney to Aaron Williams, back to Disney. No Edwards. Dare I say it, Andy Morrison, the Connah's Quay are comfortable at the moment.
Really comfy, moving the ball so well. And the shape just is getting found out a little bit. It's just an overload. I think the box of Connah's Quay is really causing problems.
Lovely touch by Rhys Hughes to Max Woodcock. This is Chris Marriott. He's got Declan Poole out on the left-hand side. Rhys Hughes just held up by Nathan Peat. Hughes turns one way, turns the other, fools Nathan Peat, all hands down, falls on the edge. It was no Edwards, I think it was Aaron Edwards who got the touch in. George Newell. The ball cleared up once again. Aptly named George Newell, because the Welsh word for fog is Newell.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
That's my lesson today.
There's your Welsh word of the day, Newell. The George Newell ball into the box by Ross. It was White, falls as an effort coming in. Oh, it was Louis Robles, and it's cleared away. It was a shot within the 18-yard box by Louis Robles. Ball cleared upfield, lovely control by it's Woodcock. Plays the ball down the left hand. It was Callum Brackley with the touch, I think. And this is Woodcock. Woodcock into the penalty area. Woodcock goes for goal. It was a good run. Callum Brackley originally, and then he just fed Max Woodcock and just snatched at the effort.
Yeah, great touch from Brackley, but what a ball from Marriott in that deep left-back position, just to miss the midfield. You think he's going to go long. He's just pulled a disguised pass into Brackley, who took it brilliantly. And again, so easy to get down the side and in behind.
Oh, it was Kai Edwards with the defensive header. The man mounting at the back for Connah's Quay. Kai Edwards, as Nash gets his header in for Connah's Quay. And then Marriott, midway inside the Connah's Quay half. As Bala Town just looking to recover from the poor start. And that's an understatement if ever there was one. Lovely touch by Marriott to Declan Poole. Disney, it's too easy.
Far too easy. There's no press there. They've gone in 2s and 3s up there, but nothing's coming behind, and just really off the cuff a little bit.
Quarter of an hour played here at the Essity Stadium. Rhys Hughes after 4 minutes and 8 minutes. And it's Connah's Quay Nomads. Well, they're up to 7th as things stand, because Barry Town drawing 1-1 with Haverfordwest there in the 6th place as Rhys Hughes just picks the ball up on the touchline, as you can see, into the box, looking for the run of Callum Brackley. Brackley turns! So his intention was clear, and he was given the opportunity to turn there, Andy, and he should never have been given that chance.
No, it was very easy to come back inside, but again, from Rhys Hughes, I mean, this little... No, that's actually the shot we're commentating there because we can't really see what's going on. But again, from Rhys Hughes, has just drifted into space, come back out, and just clipped a wonderful ball into feet. And first time I've seen him up close, and I hope he's tied down on a contract.
Well, do you know what? I've been really fortunate. I've seen Rhys a half a dozen times this season, and this is the standard of play.
Yeah,
he's like this every game.
Fantastic.
He is.
Yeah, I've been so impressed so far.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Gary's done his due diligence and has got him tied down because, you know, he's definitely probably one of the most talented players that I've seen in the Welsh Premier League in a while.
Yeah. Do you know what? He's a lovely, lovely lad. Yeah. He's got his feet on the ground. He's very, very humble. Very humble.
Those are lovely qualities, but I'd rather him be a good footballer. I'm not bothered what he's about, as long as he scores goals, and he's got 2 tonight, so he's doing his job.
Why am I not surprised to hear you saying that? We've missed you in the JD Cymru Prem, Andy.
Nice men don't win your games of football.
You're right. But he does.
Yeah,
he does.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Well, Connah's Quay on the right, there on the right-hand side, on the far side from where we're sitting, and it's Aaron Williams, just eased out by Eddie Clark, former Connah's Quay player, of course, Eddie Clark. Colin Caton, Ryan Valentine, they've got those caps have got to be thinking caps because they need to do some changes, don't they?
Yeah, I mean it is the shape, you know, and again you don't know the time, the turnover from the game on Saturday, you know, having an idea of what Connah's Quay are going to do and how they're going to match up or how they're going to try and stop it. But it really has been a brilliant start from Connah's Quay.
Cagbo, just under a bit of pressure on the edge of the penalty area. Hughes was in there again. Noah Edwards. Now it's to Declan Poole. Just tries the cheeky one, but headed away and back in by Chris Marriott from the halfway line. Aaron Williams. And it's Nathan Burke, who was back there for Bala Town. And now an opportunity for George Newell. Newell plays the ball forward, but Cagbo was the farthest player forward for Bala Town, and it's easy for George Ratcliffe, who's been largely untroubled in the opening 18 minutes. So later situation in the JD Cymru, Caernarfon 0, Flint 0, 2-0 here, of course. Cardiff Met 0, New Saints 0, 1-1 between Barry and Haverfordwest, and Newtown still trailing at home to Penybont. Williams. Here's the live table. Cardiff Met. Well, they're quite comfortable, aren't they? And Caernarfon in 5th. Barry Town, as we said, in 6th. So both these teams are in the relegation conference as things stand. Hughes, certainly the star of the match so far. Edwards to Marriott. Back to Hughes. Hughes, he thought he was going for a shot there. Back to Noah Edwards. He's got Marriott. Declan Poole's available. Poole just winding up for the ball into the box. Cleared away by Aaron Edwards. To Chris Marriott, left-hand side of the Bala penalty area. Plays the ball back into the centre circle. To Kai Edwards, who finds John Disney. Disney out onto the right-hand side to Aaron Williams, back in field. Brackley leaves it for Aaron Williams into the centre circle for Noah Edwards. Scurries over. Disney, just wasteful. Malkin, seen very little of him so far. And gives the ball away cheaply to Callum Brackley. Cagbo in on Aaron Williams. He felt that one. But Connah's Quay still going. Woodcock to Rhys Hughes. Hughes with the effort! So close to the hat-trick. Rhys Hughes. Oh, dear me, what a player.
Yeah, just moved it off its line, across his body, and I think looks like he's done the keeper with his eyes. Just seen it here, moving it there, that little drop of the shoulder, and anything from that area. Maybe the keeper, maybe we're doing him injustice there, maybe he did see it.
Yeah, he whips the ball, doesn't he? He's got that whip.
Yep, a bit of disguise on the ball.
Aaron Williams just trots away gingerly. And we're almost a quarter of the way through the game. Fog doesn't seem to be getting any worse. It's just clinging at the moment, and we're actually starting to see the advertising hoardings on the far side of the field. And it's with Eunice Cagbo in the centre circle, plays the ball back over the halfway line to Kyle Harrison. This is Eddie Clark for Bala Town, trailing 2-0. 2 goals by Rhys Hughes in the first 8 minutes. 1 from the halfway line, 1 from the free kick from the edge of the penalty area. Clark. Cagbo disguises the run ball forward, and Robles just couldn't quite catch the ball, and it runs out for a goal kick to Bala Town.
It's a decent ball in behind, and the touch is better. He's just stretching for it. Yeah, it's difficult for Robles.
He has been out with an injury for a while, as Louis Robles first came back on Saturday at Llandudno against Caernarfon Town. Interesting today, by the way, Andy, that the New Saints are ahead, by the way, and it's Aramedi Ote who put the New Saints ahead. That today, possibly yesterday, that Zach Clark has gone from Caernarfon to the New Saints.
Yeah, I heard that, and I mean, TNS taking players from within the league, obviously in the summer, taking Caernarfon player in Sean Bradley, and and I rate Sean highly, but they normally do their business, with players that you've not heard of, maybe from Scotland or maybe higher up the pyramid. But great that they're looking at players, but it's one that surprised me a touch.
Halfway through the first half, and it's Connah's Quay Nomads 2, Bala Town 0, which means that Connah's Quay are into 7th. Bala are dropping into the 8th position, just above Britain Ferry, Llansamwel, then Flint, then Newtown and Aberystwyth. And as we've seen over the past seasons, Andy, the team that are at the bottom of the table at the split, they don't get away from that, and they're relegated. Could this be the first year that Aberystwyth go down?
Well, I'm not sure what's happening here.
It's Joel Torrance, the Bala keeper, just I think feeling his hamstring there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Aberystwyth at the bottom, Newtown second from bottom. The 2 teams who have never been relegated from the top tier.
Yeah, I mean, it was in Aberystwyth for a while now. It's been a struggle. They've had the battle every year, and somehow they've found a way to stay in. Really, really surprised with Newtown, with the quality and depth of the squad. With Flint and Brittany Ferry coming in, I thought they would be the 2 that were scrapping to stay in, but really surprised with Newtown. But there's about 10 games, with 30 points to play for, but anyone can turn it around. You're never, ever dead and buried. And a run of form, and I hope Corbs gets it sorted, because he's a great guy. But it's a big ask, and he's got, he's really got his hands full to go in there and keep them up again this year.
And the result over the weekend, where they lost 6-1 at home to Britain Ferry, Llansamwel, that must shatter the confidence.
It would be a really tough one to take, and I listened to Corb's interview afterwards, when you could see he was hurting and disappointed, and felt maybe a touch let down by the performance, because it probably could become, it was unexpected, and it would have been one where he would have, the emphasis on the importance of this game would have been huge. Yeah. So that would be a really tough one for them all to take.
Yeah, and he was brutally honest, wasn't he? He said he told the players that it was an embarrassment. I mean, to put your heart in your sleeve like that.
Yeah, it's a game he would have sort of targeted and expected to not to lose. I'm not saying that you're guaranteed 3 points in any game, but it would have been one where the importance of it, but the manner of the defeat and the way kind of capitulated and folded in that last sort of half an hour would be a major worry for him, because to get out of that fight you need character.
Yeah, I think the 2 last goals were after the 90 minutes, weren't they? So possibly they've given up on the goals, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Tough one for him to take.
Yeah. We're back in play, and Joel Torrance having had some treatment from Fiona Evans. the Bala Town physio.
That treatment for the keeper, that wasn't on 22.5 minutes halfway through the first half, was it?
It wasn't far from it.
That's got maybe a chance for the coach to get a little bit of information on.
Yes, tactical injury. Rhys Hughes just couldn't get the ball pass from Chris Marriott. He's been a good addition for Connah's Quay, hasn't he? Bringing that experience in, Chris Marriott.
Yeah, I tried 5-6 years ago to get Chris in. You know, he's just such a talented footballer and such an understanding of the game. And his quality is of Football League standard. You know, obviously an incredible servant to TNS over the years, but a player that I've respected. His decision making is fantastic.
The most medalled player in the whole history of the JD Cymru Premier. 27 trophies he won with the New Saints. Aaron Edwards has won 23 trophies between TNS and Connah's Quay Nomads. So some very experienced players on the field. The ball, by the way, is in the left back position in the fog on the far side over there with Ben Nash. Just plays the short ball back to George Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe lifts the ball, floats the ball out to the left-hand side to Marriott, and then it's Noah Edwards down the line looking for Rhys Hughes, goes out for a throw-in.
Just on that last bit there, Bryn, when the ball's gone back to Reynolds, the only way that Bala can get anywhere near Connah's Quay is if they're back four on the halfway line. When the keeper's got the ball, they're 20 yards inside their own half, which makes it impossible for the midfield to get anywhere near Connah's Quay. So unless they start squeezing and getting a bit closer to, it's going to be a real tough ask for the Bala midfield to get anywhere near Connah's Quay.
Marriott just under pressure from Cagbo and Malkin to Rhys Hughes on the left-hand side, just on the halfway line, as Marriott lifts the ball down the line looking for Woodcock, and Nathan Peat plays the ball out, but there was a foul on Chris Marriott as he played the ball. We can actually see the corner flags far better now, Andy.
Definitely lifting.
It's lifting.
Yeah.
It is lifting. Yep. Ratcliffe just pushes the ball to the left of the penalty area, plays it up to Marriott. Marriott lifts the ball over the halfway line to the edge of the Bala box, where Nathan Peat, very little beats Nathan Peat in the air, gets the header away only as far as Rhys Hughes, who finds Declan Poole, and it's with Chris Marriott halfway inside the Bala Town half. Woodcock, lovely turn by Max Woodcock, and again just tried to place the ball. We could see his intention.
Yeah, really good movement.
Yeah.
But again, too easy. You know, he's just pulled into a little pocket off one of the centre halves, and again, the distances between the units, you shouldn't be able to get into that position to have a defender arrive. You've got to have somebody close to you when you're in around the opponent's box and you're receiving the ball at the feet. It's just far too easy.
Rhys Hughes opened the scoring on 4 minutes with a wonder strike from the halfway line over the keeper, Joel Torrance, and then he doubled the lead 4 minutes later, direct from a free kick on the edge of the area, poorly placed wall, and just played the ball to the left of the wall into the bottom left-hand corner with Torrance rooted to the spot. Cagbo on the edge of the area. There was a hard challenge on Quay Edwards, who just limps away, does Quay Edwards, as Ross White lifts the ball looking for Malkin, and Newell on the far side. Disney. Aaron Williams just ventures forward, just gives the ball away, and it's Aaron Edwards in the centre circle, just turns. He's got Eddie Clark with him on the far side. And this is Clark. Clark plays the ball in first time, comfortable for the keeper as Ratcliffe commands his area.
Very comfortable for the keeper. It's quite easy to get in behind there, though. When, you know, I think that's that Kai just going down there, and after that 50-50 tackle.
Don't see that a lot, Quay Edwards going down, but it was a crunching challenge with Eunice Cagbo.
Yeah, and I've not seen Eunice before, but, you know, certainly didn't pull out of that. Full-blooded 50-50, and, yeah, I mean, there's no way Kai's going to pull out of that.
No. And I'd say the Cagbo is the smallest player on the pitch. He's a very, very slight individual, isn't he? But he didn't pull out of that one.
No.
So, Penybont still 1-up at Newtown. It's goalless between Caernarfon and Flint. Half-time in those games. And they're into injury time at Cardiff Met. Cardiff Met 0, New Saints 1, and the same at Barry Town into added time at the end of the first half there, and it's all square 1 each. Half an hour played here, so 15 minutes left, and there will be injury time for the injury to Joel Torrance and the one we've just seen there for Kai Edwards as Chris Marriott on the halfway line to Rhys Hughes. Marriott receives the ball back, and it's Ben Nash plays the ball square to Marriott. Marriott, plenty of time just to play the ball forward to Woodcock. And Nash, so comfortable at the back.
Yeah, he really has grown. I give Nash his debut many years ago, and I never underestimated him, but I didn't think he'd have the career that he's having, and he's been brilliant.
Mistake on the far side allows Aaron Williams to nick the ball. The Bala Town, their own worst enemies there, and it was Nathan Burke who was wasteful, and it goes out. It's a corner kick. No, it's Eddie Clark actually. He was just shoved off the ball by Aaron Williams.
Yeah, and then Aaron's done really well. Just can't quite get his shots. I think it's a recovering player. Burke's done well.
Yeah, it was Burke who actually, as you say, who did the recovery work there. It's a corner kick, and it's the trusted left foot of Chris Marriott. As the big men are up from the back. Edwards is there, Nash is there. It's a deep one to the far side, and it's headed in, and it's, I think, is it Ben Nash?
I think it's an own goal.
Was it an own goal?
I think so.
Well, I think Ben Nash is taking the plaudits.
Yeah, and rightly so, because he's put huge pressure. He's put huge pressure, but I think it's Nathan Peat. Maybe he's got a shove there.
Well, the public address, he's giving it to... No, it's Ben Nash, I think, isn't it? I think it came up... Did it come up, Ben Nash? Let's have a look.
No, it's an own goal, is it?
It is, yeah.
Maybe we'll get to see it again. Here we go.
Let's see. No, was it Pete? I think you're right, Andy. I think you've got that one right in the very first instance.
Own goal.
And yeah, Andy Morrison calls it correctly. Nathan Peat own goal. So 3-0. So Nathan Peat own goal on 32 minutes. So 3-0. And it's a long way back here for Bala Town, Andy.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough now.
Poole to Rhys Hughes. Rhys Hughes just getting the better of Malkin. Back to Marriott. Halfway inside the Bala half on the left-hand side. Plays it to Ben Nash. Nash was involved, obviously, in the goal, in the third goal. I'll be honest, Andy Morrison, I didn't see this coming.
No, it's listen, we've got to give Connah's Quay credit, because they've been clinical in their chances. I know, and they have had other chances, but some of the distances between the front line of Bala and the back four is unbelievable.
Well, Connah's Quay are doing what Connah's Quay needed to do. They had to beat Bala. They're doing that. They're now reliant on Haverfordwest scoring again at Barry, because Barry have to lose for Connah's Quay to jump into the top six.
And again, it's a tough one for Steve Jenkins, an old friend of mine who I play with at Huddersfield, to manage that. Because do you sit in and hold on? I expect Barry to go and win the game. I really do, because I think they will protect it.
Lovely play, Declan Poole, and it's a corner kick. Sorry, Andy.
No, I expect Barry to win the game, because I would imagine Haverfordwest will be keeping the ball now and forcing them back, and they will, the chance to counter. So I wouldn't be surprised if Barry go and win that game. Again, brilliant play between Declan Poole and Rhys. Just brilliant combination between the pair of them. I didn't see an opportunity on these corners because Bala looks so strong.
Here's another one, and the keeper.
But the delivery's brilliant.
It is
from both sides.
Yeah, it was Rhys Hughes again, and this time Torrance just goes for the quick clearance, looking for Louis Robles, and Marriott's just comfortably plays it to Declan Poole. Bala Town just they're out of ideas. They're not really offering anything, are they? Aaron Williams just puts his foot on the pedal and just bounces away to Torrance into the last 10 minutes of what's been an enthralling first half. Fog's definitely lifting as well. Of course, one thing we'll need to discuss, Andy, should these two finish in the bottom 6, then obviously they'll be vying for that 7th position, and I suppose these two would be the favourites for that 7th position.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, you know, whatever happens tonight, you know, it's 3 big points, isn't it? And 2 teams that you wouldn't expect to see in the bottom 6, but it is what it is.
Ratcliffe with the clearance, headed away by Ross White, and the clearance by Chris Marriott just bounces off George Newell on the far side, on the left-hand side. And it's a throw-in to be taken by Chris Marriott, about 18 yards from the left-hand corner flag. And it's to Hughes. Hughes turns, gets the better of Cargo. Ball looking for the run of Woodcock. Torrance out of his box, and he just a long punt upfield. And Nash comfortably to Declan. Poole. Not sure he meant that one. It just took the ball to the edge of the Bala penalty area, where Kyle Harrison clears the ball upfield. Marriott with the header. Bratley. Marriott under pressure from Aaron Edwards, and the throw-in goes to Bala Town. And it's half-time in all the other games, and we've got at least 8 minutes plus a bit more, so I'm sure you've got about 10 minutes left here at the Essendon Stadium. And there's going to be a huge half-time team talk from Colin Caton.
Yeah, it's going to take something special to get back into this. You know, because Connah's Quay look like on every opportunity that they go forward, it's a foul. Every time they go forward, they look as if they're, you know, pulling Bala apart, and it's all very easy. You know, I do think one more will finish it off. I'm not saying that 3-0 isn't, but you know, there's still time, plenty of time to get back into it.
Former teammates not too friendly with each other there. John Disney and Eddie Clark. Some handbags there, and George Newell threw his tuppence worth in there as well. Connah's Quay, left-hand side of the Bala penalty area with Marriott. He's got Noah Edwards in acres of space in the box. Ball square to Hughes. Hughes with the effort. It opened up for him. There was an opening there. There was a channel. Just drags it wide.
Yeah, it's great feet, but I mean, Noah's just arrived in behind the back 4, and he's not offside. I mean, it's yeah. I'm sure Colin will be looking at this, thinking he's got to make a change or do something, because it's just so easy.
Yeah. Now, if you were still the Connah's Quay manager, you'd be purring. But if you were the Bala manager, if you had any hair, Andy Morrison, you'd be tearing it out.
Listen, there's still plenty on top of here. Come on. I didn't think I'd come back to Scoria and have hair shaving.
It's good that we've known each other for so many years.
Absolutely.
Oh dear. Where are we? Approaching the final 6 minutes, and it's a throw-in to Bala Town. Just me, it is, on the right-hand side, about 20 yards from the right-hand corner flag, and it's Eunice Cargbo. Young lad who grew up in the Republic of Ireland in Cork. He's got a long throw-in as Cargbo just winds himself up to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Newell and Pete was in there, just got lost underneath his feet. Out to Kyle Harrison. Harrison closed down by Max Woodcock, and I'm sure that the rest of the Connah's Quay players just love to see that.
Yeah, great closing, great pressing, and I've been really impressed with his movement. You know, it's not the stature of an Andy Morrison 9, but his movement's been exceptional. You know, he's come short, he's spun in behind, you know, and caused all sorts of problems. Been impressed with what I've seen so far.
Just joined in January from Leek Town. As the ball comes in, there was an effort from I think it was Newell, if I'm right, George Newell. Max Woodcock, we were talking, he was at Runcorn Linnets with Billy Painter when he was the manager there. Now then, this is Declan Poole driving run once again, left-hand side of the penalty area to Hughes onto his right foot, ball in field to Noah Edwards with a toe poke, out it comes to Hughes again, snapshot, and every right to go for it there. He's full of confidence and he's on a hat-trick.
Yeah, and Aaron Edwards just had to make a 50-yard sprint to try and get back in and help, but again, too easy for Connah's Quay. You know, I mean, it could, I think 4 or 5 wouldn't it be an injustice at the minute, Bryn, the way Connah's Quay have played this half. Totally
dominated the game. And George Ratcliffe has the comfortable evening in goal for Connah's Quay Nomads. And Billy Painter, his half-time team talk, just, well, carry on, lads, more of the same. Aaron Williams back to Kai Edwards, appears to be running freely again. A header from Chris Marriott just finds Newell to Malkin and just dwell too much on the ball, and those are the type of opportunities, Andy, that Bala Town really should be capitalising on. Yeah, it's a half chance. You know, Connah's Quay's desire to get back and defend made it more difficult, but it was half a chance. You know, the word used there was desire, and that's something I think that Caernarfon showed on Saturday as well. Maybe there was more desire there than the Bala Town players. Maybe we're seeing that again this evening, that shoulders are dropping as Declan Poole just lifts the ball, looking for the run of Aaron Williams, headed back by Callum Brackley. Bala only won 1 of the last 4, and that was against Barry Town United. As Robles plays the ball into the box, looking for the run of Newell on the far side. Referee up with play, and it's a goal kick to Connah's Quay Nomads, who themselves have lost the last 2 against the Penybont and TNS. Yeah, probably 2 of the toughest games. That ball really skidded through. I just think they're having a little inquest there with the goalkeeper Reynolds, because they feel like he should have dealt with it, but it did really pick up pace off the ground. Frustrated figure of Louis Robles. Let's have a look at this one again. No, I don't think it was a foul there. I think Disney just slipped, didn't he? No Edwards, long ball forward, looking for Woodcock. Harrison just waits for Torrance. You understand there's going to be only 2 minutes added on at the end of the 45. I thought there'd be more than that. Yeah, there's a couple of minutes on that injury for the keeper. Yeah. And Kai Edwards went down as well, of course. Comfortable for Connah's Quay Nomads. 3-0 up. But as things stand, still not good enough to get them into the top 6. Edwards to Rhys Hughes. Marriott. Hughes acres of space in midfield just to turn and decide what he wants to do. Marriott, look at the space he's got as well. Poole. Woodcock. It was Callum Brackley, rather, just nicked by Aaron Edwards, and looking to release George Newell or Louis Robles on that far side. Williams. Brackley. And he was looking for Woodcock, cleared away, shanked away by Kyle Harrison. And well, fair play to the referee, Mr. Tom Owen. He was very brave in his decision to start the match, and he's been vindicated, hasn't he? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the point I thought it really was, you know, toss of a coin whether it was going to go ahead, but he called it, and yeah, the weather's been kind to us so far. All eyes on Aaron Jones, the 4th official, who's preparing the electronic scoreboard. And we understand that it'll have the number 2 on it. Here we go. Yeah, confirmation. There it is, 2 added minutes. 2 added minutes. Right then, Andy Morrison, you're Colin Caton. What's your half-time rant in the changing room?
I don't think a 3-0 is a rant. You've been outplayed. I think the system that Connah's Quay have gone with is absolutely destroyed. I would try and change it. Is it too late to try and match up and make it an even game? Because the shape of Connah's Quay, the box in midfield against the two that Bala have in there, is causing them huge problems. And they're keeping the ball really, really well. I've been so impressed with Connah's Quay so far.
Yeah, and the movement. And the movement as well. Yeah.
And they're just going in 1s and 2s and getting picked off, and it's just so easy for Connah's Quay at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that Billy Painter has said this is their best performance, or their best half of football this season. And it's just a shame that it's come possibly too late for them to get into that top 6. And they'll be crossing their fingers that Haverfordwest and Tony Pennock can do them a favour down at Barry Town United. It's all square there. Still half-time in the other games, by the way. Now, they've started in Caernarfon. They're back off in the second half, and at Newtown as well, as we approach half-time here at the Essity Stadium, as Louis Robles, maybe a little bit of retribution there on John Disney. Kai Edwards. There's a foul by Kyle Harrison. And maybe an opportunity for Connah's Quay just to rub some salt into the wounds before half-time. It was Callum Brackley, I think, who took a tumble. It was very little in it. Well, Colin Caton just getting the tactics board out, I should say. But they're defending this free kick. We've played the 2 minutes of added time as Rhys Hughes leaves it for Chris Marriott and headed away, and Tom Owen brings an eventful first half to an end. And it was Rhys Hughes who was the prominent figure in the first half. First goal after 4 minutes, second after 8 minutes, and then on 32 minutes Nathan Peat with an own goal for the third. So at the break here, in a foggy Flint, it's Connah's Quay Nomads 3, Bala Town 0.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Dyna beth oedd hanner cynta. Mae wedi bod yn dipyn y noson, yn barod hefyd o ystyried popeth. Felly dyma'r gêm ola cyn y toriad yn y tymor. Oedd 5 tîm yn llygadu'r hanner ucha ar ddechrau'r noson. Connah a'r Bala yn 2 o'r rheini. Fel mae pethau'n sefyll, fel hyn mae'n edrych. A'r Bari yn gyfartal yn erbyn Hwlffordd ar Barc Jenner. Dyna'r canlyniad holl bwysig ar hyn o bryd. Dyna sy'n cadw'r Bari yn yr hanner ucha, gweitha ymdrochion Connah. Tas y Hwlffordd yn cael gol fach fyna, byddai'n mynd yn ddiddorol dros ben. Ond ar hyn o bryd, fel na mai, Penybont ar y blaen o 2 gol i ddim, y 2 ar y brig yn ennill gyda llaw. Felly mae'n ni'n edrych yn addawol o ran y 2 ar y brig. Digon i drafod o ran y gêm yma ar tabl, ond cyn hynny, dewch i ni glywed mwy gan y gwrs sy'n ofal y cyngreiriau domestig yng Nghymru ynglŷn â cynlluniau o ran y cwpan y gyngrau roi newydd with. Jack Sharp yn siarad â Sione Dafydd.
Tell us a bit of exactly where we're at and how hopeful are you that we're going to see this project happen in a season or 2?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's lots of dialogue going on with a lot of external bodies, a lot of other governing bodies, UEFA, the FA, the EFL, the Premier League, to get us into the position now where we're very comfortable with what we're putting forward to the FA to make a decision upon. Obviously, we're talking around a body which has 4 clubs in their competition. They've got to also be aligned with the project outcomes and what we're trying to achieve here. But we've had some really exciting conversations with UEFA, with Welsh Government and UK Government on why this would benefit Wales in its entirety.
Tell us a bit more about those hurdles with the FA, the Premier League, for example. What conversations are being had, and do you see them supporting this? Have you had any dialogue in terms of that?
Yeah, look, we've had really professional, positive conversations to date around this. We understand from their perspective they will be looking at fair play from their leagues and in perspective around finances that come in through potential winners of the new revamped FAW League Cup. We also know that fixture scheduling is something that's at the forefront of everyone's mind at the moment, but we've been able to provide answers and reassurances to all of the questions that have been put forward to us. So we believe that we've got ourselves in a position where things which may be seen as problems or challenges, I should say, we've got solutions for to ensure that there shouldn't be any blockages put in this pipeline for Wales to really flourish on a European stage in club football. There are so many people out there that care about their own football club and will see things through the lens of their own football club. I very much see myself as a club man in terms of the background that I've come from. But I think what's really important here, the decisions that we're trying to make here are always with the best interest of Wales in mind. Our game is in a really great place at the moment in terms of some of the developments that have happened in the last 12 months, the direction of travel that we've set out to go. There is going to be a third cup competition that we look to bring into our own domestic football calendar, which brings in the Tier 2 clubs. My views on this would be bringing in the Cymru Premier clubs who are not participating in Europe that season, as well as extending the wild card and under-21 opportunity to the EFL clubs and others potentially to come into it. So we want to have something that absolutely replaces this. The Nathaniel MG Cup, without that full name, is the Cymru Premier Cup. That's what it's historically been known as. And so our job is to make sure that we aren't actually putting barriers in the way for any of the other clubs who may not be in this new revamped competition, but can still provide an environment where they feel very closely connected to their peers around them and have a competition structure that enables them to get new experiences and new things from the game, which hopefully propels clubs in Tier 2 in particular on a journey towards being a future Cymru Premier club.
Finally, Jack, in terms of the timeline, is there a deadline where you'd like to get this over the line, or what do the next few months look like in terms of discussions, etc.?
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's absolutely full on at the moment. I would like to think that we have done the governance bit externally in the next couple of months to be able to then share what a true timeline then looks like for implementation and what things look like in terms of the real detail. We've got to go back to, really importantly, we've got to go back to our Cymru Premier clubs with the final details of this. When we all met in September, this is when we floated this project with them. There was a unanimous agreement that the concept of this project was the right thing to do to drive our game forwards. I've now got to return to the table post approvals with all of those details to ensure that everyone in this process is really happy and feel that they're being looked after with this. So that will unfold over the coming months, and I'm sure we'll be able to say more kind of into Q2 of 2025.
Diolch yn fawr.
Jack Sharp yn siarad â Sioned Dafydd am y cynllun yma ailwampio cwpan y gyngrair. Dyna Caerdydd, Abertawe, Wrecsam, Casnewydd i mewn lle yn Ewrop yn y fantol. Mae'n diddorol gweld ymateb rhai o'r clybiau ers i'r Gymdeithas Bêl-droed ddweud bod pawb yn gytun o ran y syniad tu ôl y cynllun. Fi'n credu falle bod pawb yn croesawu'r syniad, ond falle dim pawb sy'n hollol hapus da'r glo man fel petai a'r manylion a'r clybiau eisiau clywed mwy. Beth am y syniad yma, Mark?
Ia, dwi'n meddwl bod Gaernarfon a'r Bari, datganiad yn dweud bod nhw tam yn cael mwy o wybodaeth dan nhw'n trod yr iselfendith i'r ymgyrch yma, ond mae'r ddau yna wedi gorau ail sefydlu i clybiau ar ôl fynd i'r wal, a gwyfreddolwyr sydd wedi codi'r clybiau lle maen nhw, ac y frwydyr wedi cyrraedd Ewrop, a dyna mae'r ddau wedi wneud yn ddiweddar, a mae wbeth fel yma yr ei clec yn ei gwynebau nhw'n y marn ni. Dwi'n meddwl mae clybiau Lloegr Dwi'n gwneud i gwlau chwarae yna, cysgwch yn fatha, peidiwch yn dod nôl a dwy'n llefydd clybiau Cymru i fynd i Ewrop gan bod chi methu cyrraedd yna yn Lloegr. Dyna di marn ni am y peth, a dwi'n meddwl bod y gyngrair yn colli un lle mewn 19 mis pan fydd un o'r clybiau yma yn gallu mynd drwy'r gyngrair drwy'r gwpan y gyngrair, a pencampwyr, mwy na lai Seintiau Newydd, enillio'r Cwpan Cymru, a ti'n edrych llai un o'r 4 yna neu'r Seintiau Newydd yn mynd i Ewrop. Beth di Seintiau Newydd yn y treble? Pwy sy'n mynd i Ewrop wedyn? Ydyn nhw'n rhaid gwoddiad o Gaerdydd a Abertawe, chwaraewch chi yn ebyn eich gilydd i weld pwy sy'n cymryd y lle yna. Mae'r syniad yn hollol hyrt.
Diddorol ewig, yn i weld beth ddaw dros y trafodaethau sydd i ddod. Rhain gweld fel cyfle, cyffroes, ond mae yna lot o waith i wneud cyn bod hyn bendant yn digwydd. Mae yna gêm fan hyn, ond i'n meddwl bydde o bosib dim gêm ar un adeg dechreuon ni. Dwi'n siŵr sy'r Bala dal wedi dechrau chwaith. Connah ar y blaen o 2 gol i ddim. Goliau cynnar na, bydd Bala ddim yn hapus bod nhw wedi dechrau'r gêm. Os lle dyn nhw i gwyno?
Ydyn nhw gwyno fan iwl efallai, ond wedi ddim tynnu dim byd oddi ar ansawdd Rhys Hughes. Oedden ni siarad amdano fo cyn y gêm, so dy hynna'n hyder sydd ganddo fo. Ac efallai fod dod i wneud i waith cartra, neu dwi'n gwybod bod gynnu nhw berson sydd adansoddi gema, ella fa reit i'r clod iddo fo, i fod bod dod i gwylio'r gema'r Bala, a ti'n dweud, mae'r golwr yma yn bell allan oddi ar y linell. Os oes na gyfla, pam lai? A ella bod nhw wedi siarad am hynna cyn y gêm, a y tîm hyfforddi, efallai'n gorfod cymryd chydig bach o glod am hyn hefyd. Ond deud hynna, mae rhaid chdi wneud y job allan ar y cae fel nath Rhys Hughes o fanna, a mae honna un o'r goliau gorau weli di tymor yma.
O'n i'n sôn amdano fe cyn y gêm, mae'r argraff mae wedi creu ers cyrraedd y gyngred, yn wedig yn ddiweddar. Mae bron pob cyffyrddiad yn dwt yn berffaith. Mae fe ar ei gêm, a thi'n ddwy hefyd o ran Cey Connah.
Do, ac i creu Marriott a Hughes, dau chwaraewr o safon, a chdi'n edrych ar y golwr y fama. Chodd o'n gêm o'r adesadwn, a mae honna, mae wedi cymryd cam i'w chwith. Mae ochr o'r gol, mae nhw fo fyr amddiffynol yno am reswm i warchod ochr yna'r gol. O pam mae o'n sy'n mynd ochr yna? Ti'n wedi le fod i aros yn un fan, a so wedi jyst casglu bel. So, siomedig.
Yw'r popeth sydd wedi digwydd dros wythnos diwethaf wedi effeithio ar y Bala, gêm yn cael ei gyherio, gêm yn symud i Llandudno, un nhw'n teimlo falle bod popeth yn mynd yn erbyn nhw?
Sy'n mynd ffeithio'r chwaraewyr? Gêm bel-droed ti'n chwarae? Mae'n chwarae ar gae 3G yn Bala, Llandudno yn y Flint. Dim gwaniaeth. So, yr un fath i cyflwr y cae yn y tri lle. A jyst i meddylfryd nhw, efallai, efo'r niwl, efallai fydd y gêm yn cael ei gohirio neu ddim, di cael ei symud. Na. So, mae'n eich di gael hynna allan o dy ben a canolbwyntio ar beth ti'n neud o'r chwibian gyntaf.
Ie, wel, dwy ddim, mae'n dair erbyn hyn, wrth gwrs, ar yr egwyl. Digon o goliau wedi bod fan hyn, a sôn am goliau. Hen bryd i ni weld rhestr fer gol y mis. Andy Morrison fydd yn penderfynu'r enillydd gyda llaw.
20 eiliad o'r 90 munud y weddill. A nawr mae yna erwe o le o flaen Charlie Lewis. Lewis yn ergyd! A mae'n mewn oddi ar y postyn!
Caleb Demery. Creu lle iddo fo'i hun. A nachi gol i honna!
Rhys Hughes, efo'i droed there. Dyna chi gol gan Rhys Hughes. Allan at Beaumont. Groesiad i mewn yn isal gan Beaumont a gysodliad gan Ionsian.
A Bale at Payne at yn hanner cyfle fan hyn a Demery mynd amdani ac am gol gan Caleb Demery.
Robl yn trai wneud ffordd all a gael yr ergyd i fewn o! O, dyna chi, gol gan Ryan Brobl.
Vincent! Oh, wan gol! Mae'r eilydd Tom Vincent.
Andy Morrison, I can actually see you now. Good to have your company again. Right, you've had the pleasure of picking the winner of the goal of the month. So could you announce who the winner is, please?
Yes, the winner is Rhys. I just thought it was a wonderful finish. There was a few good finishes in there, but he moved the ball off its line, and rather than just smashing it, he actually picked the corner and stuck it in the top corner. It was a brilliant, brilliant finish.
Well, we'll talk about Rhys in more detail in a moment, because another 2 goals for him tonight, Andy. But first of all, your reflections on that first half. Were you expecting Connah's Quay to be 3-0 up at this stage?
Well, I mean, listen, normally you'd say, you know, with the 2 brilliant finishes from Rhys, you know, the difference, but Connah's Quay were so much better than Bala. They really were. You know, I just think the shape really hurt. The box 4 in midfield was just causing massive problems, and they were getting in between the lines, and the distances between the units for Bala were too big and made it impossible for Aaron to get any kind of press or Nathan Burt to get a press in midfield, and they just got pulled apart. And then on top of that, you got 2 moments of brilliance. The first goal is just exceptional at any level of football. To have the awareness to see the keeper off his line in those conditions as well, and then to execute it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful moment, and you know, from us in the grandstand was just like wow, you know. So fair play to him, brilliant. And then, you know, the second goal, I think maybe the keeper will be a bit disappointed because it's on his side. The wall does its job, but he steps that side, and if it goes in that corner, then you accept that. and he's just give it the eyes and pulled it across. And on this surface, if you manage to get it on target, it's going to be very difficult for the keeper to stop.
Yeah, let's talk about Reece in a bit more detail, Andy, because 12 goals this season in the league. He just looks so comfortable out there, doesn't he? He's made for Connah's Quay this season.
There's little clips and little flicks around the corner, appreciation, you know, and the way he's moved the ball. It's the first time I've seen him up close, and I've been really, really impressed. I do think that, you know, I'm not taking anything away, but I think Bala made it quite easy for him because the spaces. I'm not sure Nathan and Aaron are sure who's picking up who in there, and they're just finding space. And with his quality, if you're able to get your head up and turn, you know, his weight of pass is is good, and I've been really, really impressed with him.
Connah's Quay have actually just come out on the pitch. They're ready to go here, Andy. In terms of Bala, they've got a mountain to climb now. But as things stand, both of these teams out of the top 6 because of what's happening down at Barry. But in terms of Bala, what do they need to change in the second half?
Well, there's a lot to work on. I mean, obviously the turnaround from the weekend game. You know, are you able to train and prepare for tonight's game, knowing how Connah's Quay are going to play? The shape, you know, I don't think it's any different to what we've seen in the last few weeks. So you'd have that kind of eye of how you're going to stop them, but they're not able to press the goalkeeper. They're not able to press the back four because the distances. I mean, the back four are too deep. So it's really, really tough. And I think it might be too late now to maybe match up and go against them, but at 1-0 and you're getting run around the way you were, maybe match up and try and stay in the game for a period. But Connah's Quay have been so good, by the way, so good.
Right, we might get a row off the referee if we don't get off this pitch anytime soon. But Andy, thank you so much for your time.
A dyna fe, yr hen wyneb, yr hen ddywediad, yr hen gymeriad. Mae'n braf cael ei gyda ni hefyd. Na ddim gael o fe'n hen yn ei wyneb. Gyda llaw chwaith Andy Morrison gyda ni. Mynd i ail ymuno Bryn Thomas i sylwebu yn Saesneg. Rygbi Ewropeaidd i ddod dros y penwythnos. Y Scarlets yn camu i'r cae unwaith eto. Cofiwch am hwnna, nos Sadwrn, ar S4C. Fel mae pethau'n sefyll, Quay Connah ar y blaen, ond dyn nhw ddim yn yr hanner ucha oherwydd bod y Bari yn gyfartal yn erbyn Hwlffordd. Tasau pethau yn newid o blaid Hwlffordd. Bydde Quay Connah yn codi uwchben y Bari. Mae'n agos. Mae ni dipyn o ail hanner. Nôl yn i Nick Parry a Malcolm Allen.
Welcome back. No changes at half-time from either side. Caernarfon have taken the lead, by the way, at home against Flint Town United, and it's Josh Locke, who's on loan from the New Saints, who has put them ahead. And Andy Morrison's back in the commentary position, and fog looks as if it's just falling down again, Andy.
Yep, just slightly more dense, isn't it?
It is looking a bit more dense. Just I'm not too sure, you know, if the referee called the game off, say, after the hour, does the result, what's the rule?
No, I don't think so.
You'd have to replay.
I'm not sure exactly, but I think it would be a replay.
Well, as it is, Connah's Quay leading by 3-0. He scored the first two, Rhys Hughes, and an own goal from Nathan Peat. And Bala Town, well, they've got to score the next goal.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's plenty of time. If they get one before 60, you know, they're firmly in the game. But as this drifts on, and it's just even that the last phase of play we've just seen how easy it was for Connah's Quay still to get in. You know, the distances again, it's so hard to get any kind of press against a team that are playing deep. You know, if you are deep and you're all deep, and I get that, you know, everybody's in relation to every other player in the team. But when it's not, it's really, really tough for them.
So in the live table, it's the New Saints 3 points clear at the top of the table, ahead of Penybont, who are being held 1-1 by Newtown at the moment, and Haverfordwest, then Caernarfon. Cardiff Met 5th, and it's Barry Town who are in 6th position on 30 points. Quay Nomads on 29, Bala Town on 29 in 7th and 8th position. Here are the latest scores for you. Josh Locke's goal separates the sides against the Flint. Connah's Quay leading 3-0. Cardiff Met trailing 1-0 at home against the New Saints. 1-1 Barry and Haverfordwest. And Penybont have taken the lead at Newtown. It's now Newtown 1, Penybont 2. So they'll cut the gap at the top of the table to the New Saints to 1 point as Rhys Hughes plays the ball around the corner to the scurrying Noah Edwards. He's got a very, very distinctive run, has Noah Edwards, makes him easy for a commentator to recognised. There he goes to Woodcock. And he's got that predatory instinct, hasn't he, Max Woodcock?
Yeah, no doubt in his mind there. Move it half a yard and get a shot off. I didn't think it was right to get a shot off, but, you know, fair play to him. If it's an opportunity on the edge of the box, he isn't going to pass it up.
19-year-old. 3 minutes played in the second half. 3-0. Connah's Quay lead as Kai Edwards gets his header away. And yeah, I think the fog is definitely coming down again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's cross all fingers and everything that we've got that the game can continue. Poole. Hughes. Ball just to Declan Poole. And a good challenge by Nathan Peat. He's felt something there as Nathan Peat, the Bala captain. That's a worrying for Colin Caton, that.
Yeah, he's full out. I think,
Declan Poole just
left
landed on him.
Just caught him, yeah.
It was Poole's, to be fair, it was Poole's momentum, and no, there was no malice there at all, was there?
Absolutely. But that's going to hurt on a cold night. I think he's just caught him on the ankle bone.
It's getting increasingly difficult to see now as Aaron Williams just takes the pot shot, takes a deflection, and that one runs out for a corner kick to Connah's Quay Nomads. Well, I was talking to some of the Bala fans at half-time, Andy, and fair play to them. They said, well, if we finish in the bottom six, it'll be less travelling for us. So they're looking at the bright side. As Marriott whips the corner kick into the far side. It was loose in the box, and it's cleared away. And it's Eunice Cagbo. Now then, Cagbo, fleet-footed, carries the ball up to the halfway line. He's just held up by the combination of Noah Edwards and Aaron Williams. Aaron Edwards to Nathan Burke. This is Eddie Clark to the left-hand side of the Connah's Quay penalty area to this is Louis Robles just turns one way, turns the other. Back to Clark. Good defending by John Disney. Stops the corner kick and concedes the throw-in. 5 minutes played in the second half. Still Connah's Quay leading by 3-0. Robles tight on the left-hand touchline. And it's Burke who lifts the ball up to the edge of the penalty area. Held up by Malkin. Tall, lean figure of Joe Malkin, and then ball played into the box, goes out, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, good defending by Aaron Williams. He's just tracked Robles into the box and just give him a little bump before.
Goal kick to Connah's Quay Nomads. Ratcliffe, the keeper, to Ben Nash. Well, he was looking for Declan Poole, but he was comfortable for the Bala number 23, Ross White. One of two ever present in the Bala side, by the way. Joel Torrance and Ross White have started every game this season. And Kai Edwards and John Disney and Rhys Hughes, not surprisingly, likewise for Connah's Quay Nomads. No surprise at all that Edwards, Disney and Hughes are ever present, Andy Morrison.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Diz has been, I think, I was speaking to Jay Catton before the game, and it's been, he said it's been one of his best seasons. And that's some testament with how long John's been playing.
Yeah. He'll be. I'm convinced, Andy, that he will be a manager one day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He has that desire and that appetite.
Yeah.
He's definitely a thinker and, and very strong-minded.
Yeah. And you can see that in his post-match interviews. When you do a post-match interviews, the way he dissects the game, he dissects it at another level. He really, really does. And he's a lovely lad as well, I must say. Corner kick played in by Bala Town. And there was an opportunity there. It was Kyle Harrison, the big centre-back. And they've got to take advantage of these opportunities.
I'm just looking back. If it is us, I think it was. Oh, he's got to score. It's hit his shoulder. Hit the shoulder. I mean, anything on the forehead there. It's the middle of the goal. There's no way the keeper can react to that.
No. No, missed opportunity. 7 minutes into the second half. Connah's Quay 3, Bala 0. Connah's Quay 7th in the table. Bala 8th, 1 place above Britain Ferry Llansamwyl. And you know, serial finishes in the top 6. Both of these sides, of course, serial finishes in the top 6, and to finish in the relegation conference would be a huge disappointment.
Yeah, but you know, we've seen so many teams over. I can remember Bala. I think when we first came into the league, and I remember them finishing, you know, and they won all 10 games and went into the playoffs and won them games and got into Europe that way. So there's still an opportunity, still 30 points to play for. But as you say, you know, you're right. It shouldn't, you know, both of these teams playing in the bottom 6 will be both be disappointed.
So first change for Bala Town, Hussein Mehaseb, the Egyptian, joint top scorer, 4 goals, joint top scorer with George Newell. So it's Mehaseb for Malkin, and it's Aaron Edwards who's coming off, and Lassana Mendes. So Mendes and Mehaseb, and Colin Caton giving them 10 minutes at the beginning of the second half, and change is made. What do you make of that, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, just trying to freshen it up, give them a chance. First 10 minutes, see if they can nick something, but he's got to try and make a change. Got to try and make a difference now, because you know, the game is beginning to slip away now.
So Lassana Mendes on. So Mendes and Mehaseb for Aaron Edwards and Joe Malkin. As the visibility is definitely deteriorating. It's almost back to the level that we were at when the game was delayed for 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, not quite there yet, Bryn, but it's heading that way, isn't it?
Yeah. There's no Edwards, just finds Chris Marriott. Declan Poole. And Edwards once again. Oh, there's a crunching challenge by Nathan Burke on Callum Bratley. And the referee hasn't shown a single card yet. But I'm sure he was thinking about it there. Oh, crikey, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's got away with one there, Nathan.
Yeah. I think one of the only referees who hasn't shown a red card this season, by the way, Mr. Tom Owen. He's shown 24 yellow cards, but not one tonight. As Kai Edwards just tugged back by Mehaseb. Scored that, well, memorable winner in the 3-2 victory against the New Saints. Burke, under pressure from Callum Bratley in the left-back position, plays it back to Joel Torrance. Beaten 3 times in the first half. Foul committed. I don't want to harp on about this, but it's getting increasingly difficult to commentate on this match. It really is. There's a curtain of mist in the middle, and it just appears to be just spreading out. And of course, Connah's Quay will not want this game to finish. There's Disney and Kai Edwards only as far as Mendes. First touch for the sub to Nathan Burke. Burke plays the ball square to Cargbo. Cargbo to the far side, but just not working for Bala, is it?
No, it's great defending. Give credit there to Kai. He's just too clever. Just gets his body in line with it and just ushers the ball out of play. So it's great defending from Kai.
Still Barry Town 1, Haverfordwest County 1. It's 69 minutes played at that match. And it's pretty obvious here, Andy, that Steve Fisher is getting into the year of Aaron Jones, the 4th official. Is he trying to get the game called off?
Well, I wouldn't think, I think they would they'd leave the pitch for a period of time, saying if it's unsafe, but it...
Play is continuing, and it's a throw-in to Bala Town on the left-hand side in the left wing position, as you can see there. It's about 20 yards from the far corner post. Yeah. It's really, really getting bad now. Oh, Aaron Jones just had a earful from Steve Fisher. I think the referee's aware of that. Of course, where he's in the middle of the pitch, maybe you can see the different areas of the pitch which we cannot see, as Marriott is just hauled back by George Newell. Newtown 1, Penybont 2, Caernarfon 1, Flint 0. Caernarfon cementing their place in the top 6. Cardiff Met 0, New Saints 1. Barry Town United, this is the big score at the moment. It's Barry Town United 1, Haverfordwest County 1. And as long as it stays like that, Barry will get that.
What time is that? Is that game on?
That's into the 71st minute.
71st. There's always a drama, isn't there? There's always a bit of something, isn't it?
Yeah. Never a dull moment in the
got to be something.
Cymru Prem.
Yeah.
And you can see he's trying his best, is Steve.
Well, Fish will grab hold of anything. He will not let it go. If there's a chance, maybe he's just asking how bad does it need to get.
Yeah. Well, all the damage was done in the first half when the visibility was far better. Well, they're appealing for a foul. Nothing doing, according to Mr. Owen. Poole. Little flick from Chris Hughes. Approaching the hour mark here at the Essity Stadium. And well, it need a miracle, I think, for Bala Town to get back into this one. And 15 minutes into the second half, doesn't appear to be anything along those lines. George Newell hasn't really been in the game, Andy.
No, he's not. He's not had a lot to work on, you know, and it's just a little bit isolated up there. And it's been a tough night for him. You know, I've seen a bit of him over the last few seasons and been impressed, but tonight he's been scrapping for everything and nothing's really fell.
Yeah. Play continues. Hour played. Possession is with Connah's. No, it's with Bala Town. Oh dear. Mendes. Just forced backwards. Harrison in the left back position for Bala Town up to the halfway line, where Nathan Burke turns into the centre circle and plays the ball square forward for the tall figure of Hussein Mehaseb. Easy to recognise him. Chris Hughes. Ben Ma preparing to come on for Connah's Quay. And referee just blows. What's he seen here? As a referee, he's seen something. What's this? I think he's just... Is he pausing the game? Well, I think that has the decision been made here, Andy, do you think, to
pause it for a period?
Yeah.
Which makes it really difficult, you know, obviously this period in the game. But I don't think that's playable.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah. What will he do? Do you think he'll say we'll give it 15 minutes like we did the kick-off? And let's see what's happening. Okay, what we understand is that the assistant referee cannot see the other side.
Yeah.
He's had a message from the assistant referee, I think, on either side, that they cannot see the other side.
Yeah.
Ben Ma's preparing to come on, by the way. He was going to be taking Max Woodcock's place, from what we understand. But I think the situation means that, we're pausing the play at the moment. So we'll just pause our commentary as well, I think, until things become far clearer.
Helo Nick, wel y diweddara i ni'n clywed bod y Llymanwr sy'n sefyll ochr yma y ca, sef ochr y twnnel, bod e'n gweud bod e ffili gweld ochr arall y ca, felly o ran cam sefyll, dyw e ddim yn glir o gwbl. Felly mae fe wedi mynd draw i gael sgwrs gyda'r dyfarnwr, Louis Robles, chwaraewr y Bala hefyd, yn cwyno bod e ffili gweld unrhyw beth ar y ca. Felly ar hyn o bryd mae fe'n aneglur, mae'r chwaraewyr yn cerdded draw ato fi fan hyn, felly ni'n gobeithio o fewn cwpl o funudau i ni'n mynd i gael bach fwy o eglurhad o ran beth sy'n mynd i ddigwydd nesaf.
Yep, just confirmation there. Sioned was saying that it is the assistant linesman on this side, Connah Fowler, who has reported to Tom Owen that he cannot see the players on the far side and therefore cannot flag for offside. So that'll be... So there will be a break in play. So we'll leave you for the time being. Players are going into the changing rooms. So we'll leave you for the time being, and we'll come back when the players come back out.
Wel, does dim byd yn syni ni dyddiau yma yn y gyngrair yma, felly dyma le ni arni. Cei Connah ar y blaen fan hyn o 2 gol i ddim. Na i fynd trwy popeth arall sy'n digwydd heno. Reit, dyma'r sefyllfa. Ar hyn o'r bryd, mae'r Bari'n gyfartal yn erbyn Hwlffordd, a mae'r pwynt na yn cadw'r Bari yn yr hanner ucha. Hwlffordd yn mynd ar y blaen yn gynnar iawn yn y gêm yna, ond y Bari McLagan yn taro pwy arall i gadw nhw'n gyfartal. Felly mae'r pwynt na yn golygu bod y Bari yn yr hanner ucha, a bod y triphwynt a 2 gol Cei Connah ddim yn gwneud gwahaniaeth o ran yr hanner ucha ar hyn o bryd. Werth nodi y sgoriau ar y brig hefyd, y Seintiau Newydd ar y blaen o gol i ddim yn y met. Cic o'r smotyn y gol na o ran y Seintiau Newydd, a mae Penybont ar y blaen o 2 gol 1 yn y Dre Newydd. Cynarfon, wel mae'n 2 i ddim nawr i Cynarfon yn erbyn y Flint, pethau mynd yn dda iawn iddyn nhw hefyd. A dyma ni'n dal i drafod wrth ochr y cae. Mi'n falch efo Macklin Williams wedi dod i lawr o'r pwynt sylwebu i ochr y cae. Ni'n edrych y gwmpas. Does dim amheuaeth bod y niwl yn drwchus fan hyn unwaith eto. Ond fi'n credu bod chi wedi trafod hyn yn barod, Mark. Dwi'n teimlo dim gwath na goddi ar dechrau'r gêm. Sy'n mynd yn ôl i'r cwestiwn, a ddylen nhw fod i dechrau'r gêm?
Ia, yn hollol. Ac y gobaith oedd bod y niwl am godi. O rwy'n dweud, dyn nhw'n camera yn dweud, do ddim yn mynd i symud. Sam Gwynt eich addo Malcs yn dweud, Sam Gwynt i chwthio fi ffwr. Mae'n siomedig. Wedi gos tîm roli Cei Connah, Rhys Hughes, tîm di gweithio mor galad, 2 gol i ddim ar y blaen. Efallai fe yna ddim digon i gael chdi yn y diwedd i'r 6 ucha.
Sy'n Hwlffordd y sgoriau nawr, mae'n mynd i fod off fa.
Ti'n gwybod, ac y peth ydy, ti'n gwybod yn ôl, os ydy'n cael ei gohirio, gorfod nôl yma dy Sadwn.
Ni'n mynd i fynd draw i gael diweddariad bach arall gan Sioned, a mae rhaid dweud, mae'r niwl wedi gweithygu ers i fi fod yn siarad y Marc yn y funud diwetha. Sioned, beth sy'n digwydd?
Wel, o'n i ddim yn disgwyl troi mewn i arbenigroeg ar niwl heno me, ond ni newydd glywed, maen nhw newydd wneud cyhoeddiad fan hyn, bod o leia 25 o oedi yn mynd i fod eto just i roi cyfle i'r niwl yma godi, fel ni di sôn yn amlwg, ni reit ar bwys y dŵr fan hyn, sdim gwynt o gwbl heno, felly unwaith mae'r niwl yn glanio, dyw e just ddim yn symud unrhyw le, eto ddim yn disgwyl byddwn ni wedi troi mewn i arbenigwr ar niwl heno, felly fel chi'n gallu gweld o gwmpas fi fan hyn, just chwaraewyr, wedi mynd mewn i'r stafellodd newid. Billy Painter reolwr Cei Connah yma fe, dal mas yma ar y ca. A dylan, just pawb yn aros i weld os mae'r ymodau yn mynd i wella o fewn y 25 awr nesaf, ond mae pethau ddim yn edrych yn gret ar hyn o bryd.
Diolch Sian Lloyd, sori, Sian a David, sy'n gyda ni. Fi'n dangos yn oedran nawr, na gwy. Dyfynnu, Branwen, ein y griw newyddion Esbyd ni wedi dyfynnu yn edrych na Sian Lloyd. Marc, oedi eto o ryw 25 awr, am o'n i, maen nhw jyst eisiau cyrraedd y diwedd nawr, mwyn cael y chwybon ôl yna, mwyn gorffen rhan yma'r tymor yn dwt.
Un peth yn mynd a hanner awr o gêm I chwarae. A dwi'n gwybod, ti'n gwybod, ag y beth ydy, mae'r chwaraewyr wedi cael un seibiant ystod yr egwyl. Mae'n gael seibiant arall rwan. Siwr o fod y Bala yn dweud, da ni'n mynd i nôl allan rwan eto.
Ti'n rheoli nifer o dîmau gwahanol, colegau Cymru ac ati. Be bydde dymateb di yn y sefyllfa yma nawr?
So ti'n gorau pwysau ar y dyfarnwr I byd o nôl allan. So ti'n colli, os di gêm cael ei gyhwyrio, ti dal gyfle gyrraedd y 6 ucha, fel mae'n sefyll nhw ddim. A os ti'n Quay Connah, ti'n gwneud y peth arall. Wel, ti wedi dechrau'r gêm yn yr un cyflwr ag oddi, wel, pam gohirio rwan, efo hanner awr I fynd. Dwi'n ddim gwaith rwan ac oedd o ddechrau'r gêm, felly Mae yna ddau ochr, dy ddau reolwr. Sa'n gêm gyfartal, mae'n siŵr dweud, wel, ia, ffwr a ni ddyn nhw'n ôl dy sadwn. Ond gan bod un tîm mor bell ar y blaen ac yn llwyr reoli y gêm, mae'n anoddach.
Un peth sy'n taro chi, falle sy'n grefau eraill yn gorffen, a bod yn cadarnhau bod e ddim yn effeithio, ond na, mae yna dal pwyntiau ennill rhag ysgrifennu. Felly, anwybyddwch chi, mae'n haws gwneud yn ei cysio datrys y broblem dyna I gyd. A un peth sydd wedi dal ein sylw ni, heblaw y tywydd, yw Rhys Hughes. Ni'n sôn amdano fe cyn y gêm. Ni'n dal I sôn amdano fe. Bydd pobl yn gwylio hyn yn ofalus iawn. Mae yna dipyn o chreuwr fan hyn gan Quay Connah.
Oes, mae yna, a chwaraewr o safon ycha, a os yw dal I berfformio fel mae o, a mae ddillau tymor, efallai fi na glybiau, dwi'n sôn o Seintiau Newydd efallai ar ôl o, a dyna pan mae Quay Connah di gadw o I gytundeb newydd, a ella fi na glybiau o'r ail adran, rwy'n fel Cas Newydd, neu rwy'n fel Tramir, efallai yn gymryd o'n ôl. A Nigel Atkins nath adael y fynd, sy'n rôl ar y Tramir, a fi na golbio fel Salford ac yn y blaen yn chwilio I arwyddo fo, ond ia, mae rai chdi edrych ar chwaraewr o safon fel la. Mae wedi cael, mae'n dweud I fagu yn Everton, mae'n dechnegol yn wych, mae'n gallu sgorio goliau. Ti'n gweld fanna, bod di rhyw llwyr reoli'r hanner cyntaf, oedd o dal I ffindio bylcha neb ar ei gyfil, so mae'n creu lle iddo fo ei hun. A pan mae'n derbyn y bel, mae hanner troi gorff, gwybod yn iawn beth mae'n mynd I wneud efo'r bel. Felly, mae'n datblygu partneriaeth da efo Woodcock, a fel Andy Morris yn dweud, mae'r pedwar, mae'r bocs na sydd gan Quay Connah di achosi pob math o broblemau yng nghanol cae i'r Bala heno, a roedden ni sôn, nath ni'n deud enw i'r Edwards, dwi'n meddwl fwy na 2 gwaith yn ystod y gêm.
Ie, yn edrych yn chwaraewr rhwystredig iawn. Yn dair I ddim, wrth gwrs, erbyn hyn, a falle bod y drydedd yn crynhoi'r cyfan hefyd o ran y Bala. Jyst yn teimlo rhy hawdd o ran Quay Connah.
Ia, chdi ofyn cwestiwn am y golwr, am yr ail gol ac hefyd am y gol yna, mae'n meddwl dod, dwi ddim yn dod, a dwi'n meddwl bod dwi'n ar gefn Nathan Peat yn y diwedd, ond y pwysau'n dod gan Ben Nash, ond fel golwr, mae rhaid chdi fod yn awdurdodol yn y cwrt, chdi ber cwrt 6 na. O'na'm cyn gymaint o chwaraewyr efo na, dim fel mae Arsenal yn neud o. Yn ganol y cwrt 6 na, pawb di ymgynnull o flaen y golwr. Ac o'n o ddigon o le, digon amser. So mae o'n gorau symud I draed yn gyflymach, a fod yn fwy awdurdodol, a wneud yn saff bod na fo sy'n cymandio, rili, y cwrt 6.
O ran y sefyllfa gyda llaw, o ran y reole, mae rhaid gorffen y gêm. Mi oedd na gyfnod le oedd chi'n meddwl, os o'ch chi'n chwarae 75 munud, oedd y canlyniad yn sefyll. Hynny ddim yn berthnasol erbyn hyn. Mae rhaid cyrraedd y 90 munud. Sydd eto, yn siŵr bydd Quay Connah eisiau dod nôl allan, mae'n gweud, a Bala ddim eisiau. Felly mae yna droswch weithio o ran hynny. Mae angen chwarae y gêm lawn, a unwaith eto ni yn y sefyllfa yma, ni ddim yn arbenigwr tywydd. Ond dwi'n teimlo fel bod pethau'n gwella yma. Mae'n rhaid bod am heiath mawr os ydyn nhw'n mynd I allu orffen hon.
Ia, dda ni'n gweld, mae chwaraewr Quay Connah'n barod nôl allan yn y twnnel Mauricio, nôl allan. Mae'n siŵr mae chwaraewr y Bala yn ista yn y stafell newid na.
Mae'n cael cawod
a meddwl, please, niwl, paid a codi. A gen I ail gyfle wedyn ar y penwythnos, ond edrych arni, maen nhw'n gorau penderfyniad yn o fuan nhw ar. Fe ddim dal pobl yn disgwyl cefnogwyr. Dydy wedi gwella na ddo ers, da ni wedi cael y toriad.
A I fod yn deg gyda'r Bala, iawn, falle chi feddwl bod yn cymryd mantes o'r sefyllfa, ond dwi ddim fel bod yn afresymol. Mae'r amgylchiadau yn eithafol, wrth i ni weld Colin Caton yn camu allan unwaith eto. Tasen nhw'n gallu chwarae eto a cael canlyniad gwell, bydden nhw'n hanner ucha Dyna'r sefyllfa o ran tîm Colin Cater. Maen nhw'n gwybod hynny yn iawn. Y canlyniadau yn parhau fel maen nhw yn uwch gyngred Cymru. JD heno a'r Bari yn gyfartal yn erbyn Hwlffordd. Dyna sy'n achosi y tabl. I ni weld fel ma fe. 1-1 ar Barc Jenner. 5 munud sy'n fynd yn y gêm yna. Ond taser Bala wedi ennill fan hyn. Bydde dim problem, bydde nhw'n dal yn yr hanner ucha. Mae'n ddifur gweld, os mae'n fel na fydd i, 4 clwb o'r de yn yr hanner ucha. Mae hynny'n mynd i newid y balans o ran pethau yn uwch gyngred Cymru JD, ond ni fan hyn ni'n dyfalu wrth i ni weld Colin Cater gyda Jay Catton o Connah.
Ie, o rhaid i'r Bari gael canlyniad gwell na'r Bala doedd. A yn dod nôl dy Sadwrn, y gêm gyfartal yn ddigon i'r Bala aros yn y 6 ucha. Ti'n bod, dwi'n meddwl, eisiau weld Conor Fowler, dyfarnwr Cyngor Wales, allan o'r twnnel, fo sydd ochr fainc Quay Connah. A fe, mae'n siŵr bod nhw'n yn ei glus, da ni'n gweld ochr bella pam ti ddim. Da ni'n gweld y linell, da ni'n gweld y cefnogwyr, yr eisteddle ochr bella'r cae. Dim fel bod y dyfarnwr Cyngor Wales o flaen fainc y Bala. So'n fo'n ei glus, so nhw'n dweud, da ni'n gweld ochr bellach yn y blaen. Ond, felly, mae o yn bod yn broffesiynol ac yn ei waith. Ac nes dwi'n gweld, mae sefyll ar o neu penderfynd os rwy'n yn cam sefyll neu fideo. A fel mae'n sefyll, Quay Connah sy'n ymosod ochr yna, a nhw sy'n bod yn ymosod mwyafrif o'r gêm. A mae rhaid efo weld beth.
Falle bydde Rhys Hughes yn edrych am hat-trick. Bydde fe'n siomedig dros ben os y gêm yn dod i ben a bod i golio fe ddim yn cyfri. Ond fel ni wedi sôn drwy'r nos, mae rhaid gwneud y penderfyniad o ran diogelwch ac ati a mor syml hynny. Mae'r newl yn effeithio pethau yn y bryd. Malcolm Allen yn y pwynt sylwebu. Ni wedi gweld tipyn y sefyllfaoedd gwahanol a dros y blynyddoedd, Malcolm, gyda gemen cael ei goherio. Ni wedi cael gwynt, ni wedi cael glaw, ni wedi cael bob math o bethau. Mae hon yn un o'r nosweithio na fydd yn aros yn y cof am y rhesymau anghywir eto, a wrth edrych o gwmpas, dwi ddim yn siŵr os bydden nhw'n cyd yn ôl allan fan hyn.
Dim yn edrych felly o gwbl na di, a Siom, fel nes i ddeud, i bawb, i enwedig i Quay Connah. Mae'r gêm ennill yn mynd i fod ar ben mewn dipyn, ella os di'r Bari'n hongian ar am gêm gyfartal yn ebyn Hwlffordd, wedyn mae nhw'n mynd i mewn i 6 ucha anyway, ac beth bynnag sy'n digwydd yma, wedyn does a ddim dylanwad oherwydd dydy y Bala ddim yn mynd i gyro'r gêm mae heno na di. Yr unig beth sy'n mynd i stopio y Bala golli mae heno ydy'r tywydd yma a bod y gêm cael ei gohirio a wedyn cael ei ail chwarae a wedyn ella sy'n nhw'n dal yn medru cyrraedd y 6 ucha oherwydd ti'n gwrdd dechrau ond am Siom i Quay Connah ti'n gwybod o'r buddigoliaeth a'r perfformiad mae wedi bod y gampus ond mae'n mynd y waith ac i ddeud y gwir chdi reit rwan dwi ddim yn un o'r gweld Nick Parry a mae o'n fod i gati.
Mae Nick di mynd gatre, newyddion. Ni wedi siarad gyda'r gymdeithas gyda llaw i gael cadanad o'r sefyllfa. A rheolau fel arfer yw 90 munud o ran y canlyniad. Tasau y gêm ddim yn cael ei chwblhau, bydde fe'n benderfyniad i fwrdd y gymdeithas bêl-drod. Be fydden nhw'n gwneud o ran y canlyniad yma. Felly mae yna amgylchiadau ble mae modd caniatau i'r canlyniad sefyll fel petai, gyda hanner awr i fynd yn y gêm. Mae'n 2-0 i Quay Connah. Dim bod hynny'n gwneud unrhyw waniaeth, achos mae pethau'n gallu newid yn gyflym yn y byd pêl-drod. Ni'n gweld chrywyr y Bala yn ymgasglu yn y twnnel. O'n i fod dechrau am 7:45. Bydde wedi gorffen erbyn nawr. Mae'n agos at rhyw 20 munud i 10 o'r gloch erbyn hyn. Mae'n y gem yn uwch gyda'n Lloegr gyda llaw. Mae Lerpwl i sgorio yn erbyn Nottingham Forest. Mae'n siŵr bod lot yn gwylio sy'n cefnogi Lerpwl. Mae'n 1-1 yn y gem yna. Brentford fan City'n gyfartal 2 gol yr un. Chelsea Bournemouth 2 gol yr un. West Ham Fulham 2-2. West Ham yn erbyn Fulham. West Ham ar y blaen. Mae'n 1-1 Caerdydd o Watford. Dwi'n enwi Watford achos un o gyn-glybiau Malcolm Allen. Ond mae pobl wedi dod. Mae Malcolm, mae yna gefnogwyr, mae yna chreuwyr, mae yna swyddogion, mae yna bob math o bethau. Ond eto, dwi'n gwybod dwi'n ailadrodd, dim chreuwyr ar y cae, a dwi'n edrych efo y tywydd mae'n newid. Am fan mor hir tasach chi'n chreuwr yn ystafell newid, sut mae hyn yn effeithio pawb, Malcs?
Wel, ti stiffnio fyny, dyna di'r broblem. Ti'n gwybod, a mae yna wedyn, mae yna gyfle neu mae yna siawns fe sa'ch ti'n tynnu mysl wedyn ar y cae pan ti'n mynd yn ôl ar herwydd ti wedi ymlacio, ti'n mynd bach ymddyddyliol yn gorfforol a wedyn ti isio ail gychwyn peth anodd yn y byd Colin Cater yn maint yn rwstredig mae o wedi bod a mae o'n gwybod mae dim o ddim wedi perfformio heno dim wedi troi fyny ddeu gwir thach chi wedych chi'n gwneud esgus o'r niwl ma o ddechrau'r gêm oherwydd oedden nhw'n ail ora yn bob man ond yn sicr sa fi fel chwaraewr yn ystafell newid na rwan i misio yr gêm ia dwi'n dall Quay Connah Ond os dyn nhw'n gweld bod Barry, dyna pa bod pawb ar ei ffôns ochr ar y cae. Fydda ni'n gweld o'n ochr ar y cae i'r llall. Oedden nhw ar ei ffôns i weld os di'r Barry yn colli Hwlffordd. Oherwydd os dyn nhw yn colli Hwlffordd, mae Quay Connah isio chwarae'r gêm yma, a fydden ni yma tan 2:00 bora, tan fydd yn cario ymlaen, dwi'n siŵr.
Fi angen bod yn gwaith o Radio Cymru, ti'n
Gwaith barcio ni.
Ie, mae hwnna'n wir, mae dal yn gyfartal ar y bac denau gyda llaw, y Barry yn erbyn Hwlffordd, 1-1. Chi bron yn hanner gobeithio, os yw Barry'n sgorio gol arall, felly bydd neb yn dadle. O na, bydd y Bala dal yn gallu neud y cystal yn eto, felly diwna ddim yn effeithio pethau.
Ie, ond ymdyn ôl beth nes i ddeud yn gynharach yng Nghlwyd y Bwrdd y Gymdeithas Pêl-droed yn gorau gwneud penderfyniad, ond Lerpwl sgorio tair neu byd nes i Milan yn Champions League.
Pêl-droed i chi newid mor gyflym.
Spurs nid o'n Newcastle nid o'n sgorio tair neu beder mewn chwinciad, felly beth i dim reid canlyniad fel mae i sefyll, lle mae hanner awr o gêm y weddill.
Na, so chi yn, 2 funud i fynd, falle bydde synwyr cyffredin yn newid y sefyllfa, falle bydde hyd yn oed y Bala yn derbyn y canlyniad, dwi'n siŵr os bydde'n derbyn y canlyniad.
Gallu dadla, sa rhywun o Quay Connah yn gallu cael cerdyn coch, Cico Smotyn, gol, 2-1, ti'n ôl yn y gêm. So, os ydy yn cael ei gohirio am y noson, mae rhaid nhw ddod yn ôl ar y penwythnos eil chwarae.
Ie, na, wel, fel ni'n dal i aros i weld be fydd y penderfyniad. Ni'n mynd i fynd nôl draw at Sioned Dafydd, jyst i weld os oes yna unrhyw ddatblygiadau. Ni'n gweld y 2 reolwr yn siarad ei gilydd. Mae'n braf gweld nhw yn gwenu, ta beth, achos mae'n ddryslyd i ddweud y lleia. Unrhyw ddatblygiadau, Sioned?
Mi'n sefyll reit ar bwys Billy Painter a Colin Caton. Dwlen ni glywed be mae'r ddoi nhw'n gweud ar hyn o bryd, ond y newyddion diweddara ni wedi cael yw bod nhw'n hapus i aros am 1/4 awr arall eto i weld os yw'r niwl yn mynd i godi. Ond wedyn ni, fel o'ch chi'n sôn just nawr, y cwestiwn wedyn ni, aros 1/4 awr arall, bydd i bron yn 10 o'r gloch. Y cwestiwn yw pa mor hwyr mewn i'r noson mae'r gymdeithas, mae pawb yn mynd i fod yn hapus i aros tan, wel, bod nhw'n hapus i ail dechrau'r gêm yma. Felly, 1/4 awr arall, gobeithio bydd mwy o newyddion o fewn y 1/4 awr yna. Mae'r dorf dal yma, mae rai fi weid, llon llaw o bobl tu ôl i fi jyst yn aros i glywed be fydd y newyddion o fewn y 1/4 awr nesaf i weld os yw'r gêm yma yn mynd i gario ymlaen neu byd o.
Sioned, diolch yn fawr iawn. Just i sôn am y canlyniadau eraill, mae'r 2 ar y brig wedi ennill, felly mae'r Seintiau Newydd wedi ennill o 2 gol i ddim yn Met Caerdydd. O'ch chi'n gwybod beth, dyn nhw'n cael un hawdd yn Met. 1 cic o'r Smotyn, 1 gol i'r rwyd i hun gyda'r chwaraewyr Met oedd y sgôr fan yna. Mae Penybont i ennill yn y Dre Newydd o 2 gol i 1, sy'n golygu bod nhw'n cadw'r pwysau ar y Seintiau ar y brig. A ni wedi bod yn trafod gymaint am y hanner ucha, Mark. Ni ddim wedi sôn am y 2 na ar y brig. Penybont i cael cyfnod anodd, anafiadau, chwaraewyr ar goll. Mae'n dal, just i ddal mlaen yn dyn o'r sodle'r Seintiau. Allan nhw aros na am y 10 gêm sydd i ddod rhwng nawr o diwedd y tymor?
Edrych, dwi'n meddwl. Am siŵr bod yn dyfaru ildio 2 gol na ar neuadd y parc
ar y blaen o ddwy ddim.
Ti'n gwybod bod yn ar y blaen. Felly, ond ia, be mae'r gwaith mae'r Rhys Griffiths yn neud tymor yma di bod yn wych, a wrth gwrs, maen nhw'n dal i tir efo'r Seintiau Newydd, a 10 gêm bwysig bod yn bwynion ni.
Ie, ac yw hi'n help bod chi'n gweld y targed yna nawr, bod chi'n troi rownd y gornel ola fel petai chi'n gweld y llinell derfyn. Mae Rhys Griffiths a chrywyn yn gwybod mae'n rhoi lot mewn yn barod, ond 10 gêm i fynd, 10 rownd derfynol fel petai.
Ie, chdi'n dod i Carl Lear yn cyrraedd uwch yn rhaid Lloegr, mae gennych chi dargeda, reit, cyrraedd Ewrop, dal yn tir efo Seintiau Newydd, a fi dda ni ennill y gyngred. So, nath Quay Connah neud o, y Bangor neud o, pam lai rhywun fel Penybont yn gallu neud o. So, mae chwaraewyr ganddyn nhw, os nhw'n gallu cadw nhw'n holliach, ac efallai rwan fod y bwrdd yn gweld mor agos yda ni i ennill y gyngrair, efallai hwn di'r ni cyfle gawn ni am gyfnod hir iawn. A ydy'n werth gwario chydig o arian, dim prynu rhywun, ond cael rhywun ar y fenthyg o rhywun fel Gaerdydd na Abertawe. Efallai gol, so maen nhw'n siapio i'r ebyn chwaraewyr cyngrair Cymru. Ond ia, cael rhywun ar fenthyg profiadol. Dwi'n meddwl maen nhw wedi colli Nathan Wood, hefyd, oedd os a rhywun arall fedrwn nhw'n gael. So maen nhw'n chwaraewyr yna, teg a diwedd y mis, yn cicio sodla isio gêm. A os ydy nhw'n gallu bod yn glyfar teg a diwedd y tymor rwan, mae Seintiau Newydd gyn gymaint o chwaraewyr. Dwi'n meddwl mae 3 di mynd i Gaernarfon ar fenthyg. Efallai fy'n ennill arall yn allan, ond dipyn o chwaraewyr o fanna ddim yn hapus bod nhw'n chwarae. A beth sy'n meddylfryd nhw yn y garfan yna, cos o'r blaen maen nhw wedi bod yn chwarae reolaidd, ond gan bod y garfan mor fawr rwan efo Ewrop, ydy yna yn cael effaith ar y chwaraewr sydd ddim yn chwarae, a pan maen nhw'n gorau chwarae, sy'n meddylfryd.
Just i ychwanegu at y ddrama sydd gyda ni heno. Gêm fan hyn wedi goherio am y tro, oedi sydd na. Ni'n aros i weld os fydd y niwl yn gallu codi. Quay Connah ar y ban, y 2 gol i ddim yn erbyn y Bala. Y Bari yn gyfartal yn erbyn Hwlffordd, a mae'r pwynt na yn cadw'r Bari. Ni'n sicrhau bod y Bari yn y chwe ucha, achos mae canlyniad nhw'n well na'r Bala. Oedd Hwlffordd yn meddwl bod nhw wedi sgorio. Dyw i ddim wedi cael ei chaniatáu. Felly ar un adeg, oedd Hwlffordd ar y blaen o 2 gol i 1, gath i gwrthod oherwydd llawio. Dychmygwch tasa honna wedi cael ei chaniatáu, byddai hyd yn oed mwy cymleth o ran hyn, achos byddai Bala, byddai Quay Connah uwch ben Bari wedyn ni, byddai nhw yn yr hanner ucha, a'r gêm yma dal ddim wedi gorffen, byddai pawb eisiau gorffen y gêm yma, ond just i ychwanegu at y dryswch, mae'r dyfarnwr yn dod nôl allan. Mae got ymlaen, be mae hwnna'n golygu, gwedwch? Mae'n mynd i gael sgwrs fan hyn. Dwi'n edrych yn gwmpas, dwi'n yn teimlo fel bod y tywydd wedi gwella o gwbl. Wrth iddo fynd draw i gael gair bach. Fi'n teimlo fel bod ni'n mynd i gael rhyw benderfyniad fan hyn. Fi'n teimlo fel pan maen nhw'n beirniadu'r gwartheg yn y sioe fawr. A mae'r dyfarnwr beirniad yn mynd draw i weld pwy sydd wedi cael best in show. Dwi'n yn siŵr os oes Rosette ganddo fe chwaith, cofiwch, ond ydyn nhw'n mynd i oedi eto am ryw 10 munud bach arall. Mae'n mynd i fod yn noson hwyr, o bosib.
Dim di gwella o wan ag pan nath o goerio'r gêm. Mae waith os rhywbeth. A da gynnal yn gallu gweld.
Ni'n gwylio ochr hyn y cae, a dwi ddim yn edrych bod wedi gwella, fel mae Mark yn gweud, mae'n teimlo fel bod wedi gweithygu. Mi ymddiheurio os ni'n ailadrodd yn un, achos ni'n yr un sefyllfa chi ni yn y niwl go iawn y dryswch. Maen nhw'n cael rhyw drafodaeth, bosib bod nhw'n dod allan i'r cae just i asesu unwaith eto. Anodd neu penderfyniad yn ystafell newid, yn dywi, nôl yn nhw i'r canol, cael y gair bach. Fi'n credu bod ni'n mynd i gael rhyw penderfyniad cyn mwy.
Dwi'n meddwl, dos chwarter awr efallai di mynd o'n ysgath i gohirio. Rhaid fo wneud penderfyniad, a dwi'n meddwl ar penderfyniad fydd y gêm yma yn cael ei gohirio rwan, cos dim di gwella dim.
Dyfarnwr yn dod draw, unwaith eto. Ni'n mynd i trial mynd draw yn y man at Sioned. Unwaith bydd Sioned yn gwybod beth sydd wedi digwydd, ond nôl yn nhw i'r stafell newid. Mae wedi galw pawb nôl ma fe. Ni'n dyfalu fan hyn, i fod yn hollol onest. Dwi'n eisiau gweud naill ffordd na'r llall beth sy'n digwydd. Ni'n dyfalu, ni eisiau gwybod pwy sy'n dyfarnu, ond ni'n gwybod pwy sy'n dyfarnu. Ni dal ddim wedi cael penderfyniad. Ond mae'na pwynt yn dod, mae'n jyst yn mynd rhy hwyr. Does bosib.
A dyna beth mae'r chwaraewr wedyn, maen wedi chwarae awr, maen nhw'n oeri, mae'r tymeredd yn gostwng. Trwy'n noson fynd yn ei blaen.
Quarter i 8, pryd maen nhw'n dechrau paratoi? Hanner awr cyn y gic gyntaf allan ar y cae?
20 munud.
Mae'n bron yn 2 awr ers hynny erbyn hyn.
Yndi, mae'n ti'n edrych, rhyw 7 o gloch, so nhw'n dechrau dod allan efallai, so ti'n dweud, bron i 2 awr. Mae'n wedi cael un o'i seibiant hanner amser. Mae'n wedi chwarter awr 20 munud y fanna rwan, mae'r tymeredd yn gostwng, mae'r coesau dechrau mynd yn stiff. Maen nhw'n gwrdd nôl allan ac nesu fyny. So, faint o hir fydden ni yma. Heno, ti'n gwybod felly, ond mae'na rhaid chdi wneud penderfyniad. Dim di gwella o gwbl. Mae waith wan ag oedd i pan gafodd i gohirio, felly syniad i'r cyffredin, anghofio tegwch ac yn y blaen beth sy'n mynd ymlaen. Do'n ôl, nos Wener, neu prawn Sadwn, chwarae'r gêm, a dyna di'r amgylchiadau. Ydy ddim rheoli twydd. Ti'n gwybod? Os na bod chi'n chwarae'n ysod cyfnod ar ha, a weithiau fe hynny. Felly yna broblema.
Mae digon amser da ni'n drafod pêl-droed yr haf digwydd bod. Felly mae dyna beth fydd yn digwydd cyn i ni fforwelio chi heno fan hyn ar sgorio. Na ni edrych ar y tabl, dyma pan mynd yn bwysig nawr. Mae'r gêm na'r Bactena wedi gorffen yn gyfartal 1-1. Taser Bala, just wedi cael pwynt fan hyn, mi fydden nhw'n yr hanner ucha. A dyna pan mae hyn yn bwysig, Mark. Y canlyniad hon yn holl bwysig. Iawn, maen nhw'n colli y dair i ddim fel mae'n sefyll, ond os ydyn nhw'n dod nôl.
Rhaid chdi deimlo dros y Bari, cos oedd rwan am canlyniad gwell na'r Bala, fel mae'n sefyll, maen nhw wedi gael o, ond rwan, maen nhw'n mynd i nôl i stafell newid, clywed mae'r gêm yma, mae'n siŵr yn cael ei gohirio, bod nhw'n gorau chwarae ar y penwythnos, ac sa ddim yn syni gweld y Bala yn cael gêm gyfartal, ac am un ôl i'r hanner ucha o'r tabl. A nathon ni ddeud eich anoson, do fyna symudiadau am dymlaen, ond oedden ni'n disgwyl tan penwythnos.
Na, a ni ddim yn meddwl mai fel hyn byddai'r noson yn cael ei phenderfynu. can o, be bynnag yw can o worms, yn Gymraeg, fi'n credu. Gawn ni drafod Sioned Dafydd i weld beth yw'r diweddara. Os oes unrhyw newyddion yn fan hyn, Sioned?
Diolch Dylan. OK, y newyddion diweddara i ni wedi clywed yw bod nhw'n mynd i roi 8 munud arall. Os yw'r amodau heb wella o fewn yr 8 munud yna, ni fydd y gêm yma yn cael ei gorffen. Heno fydd y gêm yn cael ei gohirio. Maen nhw hefyd wedi troi'r cerddoriaeth off. Mae crowd o bobl fan hyn yn gryndo arna fi'n siarad. Felly 8 munud arall i fynd tan bod y dyfarnwr yn gorfod wneud penderfyniad. Ar ôl yr 8 munud yna, mae hynny'n golygu bod dros hanner awr wedi bod ers i'r gêm yma ddod i stop. Felly 8 munud bach arall a bydd bach fwy o syniad gyda ni o ran os yw'r gêm yn mynd i fod ar, neu os yw'n mynd i gael ei gohirio.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Sioned. O'n i'n mynd i holi pam yr 8 munud. Beth yw ddarwydd y cad hynny yn yr 8 munud? Mae'n ni dros yr hanner awr. Dyna pam maen nhw'n rhoi 8 munud i ni. Felly allwch chi ddeall pam bod nhw'n rhoi'r 8 munud. Dim llawer di newid. Mae yna rhyw law man yn dod lawr fan hyn o'n blaenau ni. A'r niwl na ddim yn clyrio o gwbl. Nick Parry a Malcolm Allen sy'n fod yn sylwebu fan hyn. A Nick, ni wedi cael pob math o bethau draws y blynyddoedd. Ble mae hyn yn sefyll o ran y nosweithiau gwahanol ni wedi cael yn dilyn uwch Cyngor Cymru gyda sgorio?
Wel, da chi newydd gyffwrdd Dylan ar prif bwynt wrth gwrs ydy. Mae Bala yn dal yn fyw o safbwynt y 6 ucha oherwydd yr amgylchiadau yma. Ac cymrwch o gen i, fydd na ddim gêm heno. Hynny yw, mae cyndrwg nawr os nad yn waith na mae wedi bod ers i fi gyrraedd yma am 6 o'r gloch. A dwi am dalu clod i'r DJ. Mae gyda fo synwyr digrifwch bendigedig. Mae wedi chwarae Fog on the Tyne, a mae hefyd wedi chwarae I Can See Clearly Now gan Johnny Nash. Lle doth o hyd i'r heine, dwi ddim yn gwybod. Ond, Malcolm, diwedd hanner cynta'r tymor, hynny yw mae wedi bod yn hanner cyffroes. Y Bala o bawb wedi curo'r seintiau newydd enghraifft ddwywaith yn yr hanner cyntaf mae'r tymor. Di hynny erioed i digwydd i'r seintiau yn yr hanner cyntaf o blaen. Pen y Bont di bod yn arbennig o dda. Hyd yn hyn, uchafbwynt yr hanner cyntaf i chi?
Just y cyffro oherwydd faint o agos mae pawb. Ti'n bod yna'r 6 ucha yna, oherwydd dylanwad mae Ewrop wedi cael ar y seintiau newydd, oedd nhw'n chwarae 2 gyngraid doedd, 14 o gemau yn Ewrop nath seintiau newydd chwarae, a wedyn rwan, maen nhw wedi dod i ben heno efo 22 o gemau rwan, felly maen nhw'n canolbwyntio ar un beth, a mi wneud nhw giro yr uwch gyngraid. Some cwestiwn am hynny, nhw sy'n o'r garfan, cryfa, dyfna, gora, efo'r chwaraewyr sy'n ganddyn nhw, so nhw'n cyrraedd i mewn unrhyw dîm arall. Felly, ia, nid dwi'n mynd â hi, ond mae'n llawer mwy agos. Amser yma tymor dwytha, oedd y seintiau newydd wedi cael cyn gymaint o cyfanswm pwyntiau sy'n nhw wedi curo'r gyngrair. Ti'n bod, ond mae'na newid, mae'na gyffro. Mae Pen y Bont wedi cael ella gwers flwyddyn dwytha, lle mae nhw blwyddyn yma wedi dysgu o pres gath nhw o'r Ewrop blwyddyn dwytha, a wedyn dim wneud i fewn i Ewrop. Ond rwan, mae tîm Rhys Griffiths ar garlan bach. Felly nhw'n dda, Hwylffordd yn neud y wych yn y 6 ucha. Llansawel wedi sioc i bawb yn y 22 gêm cyntaf yma yn y gwaelodion, oherwydd mae gyda nhw chwaraewyr ifanc, a mae Andy Dyer wedi defnyddio'r cysylltiadau gyda fyna Abertawe, Caerdydd efo chwaraewyr ifanc sydd wedi bod yna am pwynt i brofi yn y gyngrair yma rwan. Mae'n ddiddorol bod chi wedi crybwyll hynny, ac os da chi wedi cael y ddrama ar y brig, Pen y Bont, hynny yw yn arwain y seintiau yn ail am yn hir. Mae ganddo ni 5 clwb wedi bod yn ymladd am y 3 safle ola i gyrraedd y 6 ucha, a wedyn yn y gwaelod ar hyn o bryd y 2 glwb serioed wedi colli lle yn yr uwch gyngor ers i'r uwch gyngor gael ei sefydlu. Sut ydych chi'n gweld hon yma? Mae ar ben yr Aberystwyth, yndi? Mae yn, oherwydd ti'n edrych ar y strategau ys nath ni'n ddechrau'r strwythur o deuddeg tîm disglair yma. Sa neb ar adag yma y tymor ar y holl wedi bod ar y gwaelod wedi aros i fyny. Felly dim edrych yn dda. Dwi'n gobeithio bod eich geisio nhw yn fwy na'r ei fydd nhw, oherwydd dwi'n cael y teimlad bod nhw'n mynd i aros i fyny tro yma. Dwi'n gobeithio bod nhw'n poeni. A Dre Newydd, ers bod nhw wedi cael gorad y Chris Hughes, mae wedi mynd ar un lôn lithrig iddyn nhw. Dyn nhw'n methu ffendio buddigoliaeth o gwbl ar y funud yn lle nhw. Felly, ti'n edrych wedyn ar y clwbiau i fewn i Ewrop trwy'r dwytha, Quay Nomads, y Bala. Os di Quay Nomads a'r Bala ddim yn neud i'r 6 ucha, ti'n sôn am 2 gewri sydd wedi bod yn y 10 mlynedd dwytha i'r Bala, yn ôl, maen nhw wedi bod yn Ewrop, a 6 dwi'n meddwl allan o'r 7 dwytha i Connah. A ddim i gyrraedd y 6 uchaf, fo'r pres Ewrop o blwyddyn dwytha, sa'ch ti'n meddwl sy'n o'i gongrydd, ond mae'n dangos bod y clwbiau fel dy Hwylffordd wedi cryfau. Mets Caerdydd, maen nhw wedi cryfau, ti'n meddwl chwaraewyr Ryan Reynolds i fewn yn ganol cae yna, a maen nhw wedi edrych mwy, dwi'n meddwl, styfnig yn y ffordd maen nhw'n chwarae hefyd.
Dwi'n tanlinellu eto'r hyn dwi wedi gwneud yn ystod y sylwebeth. Mae'n dibynnu o ba ongl da chi'n edrych ar y niwl yma. Da ni'n gweld ambell i lun, a mae'n edrych fel tasau'n glir. Dyna da ni'n weld. Dyna fydde un llymanwr yn ei weld wrth edrych draw at ochr arall. Hynny yw, mae'n amhosib meddwl, yn dydi, y galle'r gêm yma gael i chwarae, a faint o'r 8 munud sy'n ar ôl, dim ond i'ch atgoffa chi, da ni'n cael 8 munud pellach i ystyried, ac os wedyn fydda hanner awr di pasio. Does na ddim gêm yn mynd yma, mae Colin Kitten yn mynd i gael dihangfa. Mae yn mynd i fod o bosib. Mae yn mynd i oedi o bosib hyd yn oed ail hanner y tymor.
Mae o, yn dydi. Mae'n rhaid nhw chwarae'r gêm yma mor sydyn a fedyd nhw. Dwi'n meddwl fod yna llawer o gêm yn dod penwythnos yma. Di penwythnos yma, penwythnos rhyd.
Penwythnos clir.
Felly maen nhw'n gorfod chwarae. Maen nhw'n gorfod chwarae. Be mae'r Bari fod i feddwl? Nhw di'r tîm mwyaf lwcus y fan hyn. Nhw wedi bod yn y 6 uchaf yna, rhan fwyaf o'r hanner cyntaf tymor. A ella, oherwydd hon cael ei gohirio yma, bod y gêm yn cael ei chwarae yn ddi-sgôr, mond gêm gyfartal mae Bala isio wedyn. A fydden nhw'n 6 uchaf. Sut mae Bari mynd i deimlo?
Os da chi yn cydymdeimlo, da chi'n cydymdeimlo dros rhain, chwaraewyr Quay Connah, da chi'n cydymdeimlo dros y Bari. Dyna y ddau sglyfeth, os oes na sglyfeth i'r tywydd yma heno. Gadwch chi nôl at yr hanner cyntaf, fel o'n i'n deud, dwi'n yn cofio bod yna gymaint o bethau heb i penderfynu hyd at ddiwedd y tymor. Be am diwedd hanner cyntaf tymor? Be am y chwaraewyr sydd wedi serenu i chi yn yr hanner cyntaf yma?
O, Rhys Hughes. Mae wedi disgleirio bob tro dwi wedi weld o. Dwi wedi weld o mwy, dim mewn gem a bwy, mewn 2 gem fyw, ond dwi wedi weld o mewn fflachia ar sgorio, clipia sgorio. A mae gyda fo rhyw ddawn bach gwahanol. A i fyny rwan, mae'n sgorio'r goliau, wneud o dynnu sylw, a ella wneud o ddim aros yn Uwchradd Cymru.
Os na benderfyniad ar ddod, Dylan?
Byddwn ni wrth y modd yn gallu dweud y naill ffordd neu'r llall, ni ddim. Credu bod eich clirio. Na, fi ddim yn siŵr. Ni ddim coet yn siŵr. Ni bron yno. Uwch gyngor Lloegr heno, gêm fawr di gorffen yn gyfartal Nottingham Forest 1. Lerpwl 1. Dyna'r 2 ar y brig. Mae'n fel mynd nôl i ganol yr 80au gyda Brian Clough wrth y lliw ar y City Grounds. Mae'r gath yna, pus da beth, mae'n braf. Mae'n meddwl beth y prein i gyd yn neud yma. Mae'n wag ma fel arfer amser hyn o'r nos, mae'n siŵr.
Chwilio am Bryn Thomas ac Andy Morris yma.
Ni dal, ni'n mynd i siarad am ryw 2 funud hanner dwi'n credu, Marc, achos ryw 10 o'r gloch dwi'n credu fydd y penderfyniad. Bryn Thomas wedi bod yn sylwebu yn Saesneg heno, mae fe'n cael cwmni'r gath hefyd. Ond mae fe just, ni'n edrych yn cwmpas ni fan hyn, does dim fawr y newid.
Oedden ni'n gweld y gol yna, dechrau gêm. Da ni'n gweld y gol o gwbl yn bron iawn. A mae wedi mynd yn waith na gofi ar gychwyn y noson. A mae rhaid cael penderfyniad, mae hyn yn wirion.
Achos unwaith eto, bleun ni arni, bron yn bod yn 10 o'r gloch, cwpl o funudau. Cyn 10, mae'n fynd yn ôl i'r canol i edrych o gwmpas unwaith eto, so yn gweld unrhyw beth yn wahanol i ni, mae rhaid bod ei lyged yn well. Dyw hwnna ddim yn amhosib, cofiwch, dyw'n llyged i ddim yn wych dyddi yma, mae'r ddelwedd na yn crynhoi'r cyfan, dwi'n credu, dyfanwr yng nghanol y cae, mae fe'n asesu'r sefyllfa, yn penderfynu so yn gallu gweld y goliau.
Mae waith, mae waith fan o gofi. Nath eitha fi cyn y gêm, dwi'n gorau gweld y 2 gol. O ti'n gweld y gol yna yn glir o gwbl. Wedi weld hwnna efallai, ond wedi ddim gweld y gol yna. Mae'n gorau neu penderfyniad. A mae'n dweud wan bod ti wedi cael ei gyrio.
Mae mewn manw, mae fe wedi asesu'r sefyllfa. Mae fe wedi rhoi cyfle iddi. Bydd pobl gatre, bydd pobl ar-lein yn meddwl bod hyn yn ffars ac ati, ond maen nhw wedi rhoi cyfle i'r gêm ddechrau, maen nhw wedi dechrau'r gêm, maen nhw wedi gorfod stopio, ar ôl stopio, maen nhw wedi rhoi cyfle arall i ail ddechrau. Wel, chi'n chi gweld sut maen nhw wedi cyrraedd pob cam yn y broses, falle mae dechrau'r gêm yn y lle cyntaf bydd y cwestiwn mawr, a ddylen nhw wedi gwneud hynny.
Ie, ac fysa ddim yn gêm ola efo'r ticwch, maen nhw wedi sôn am efo'r Bala, Cynarfon yn cael ei symud i Llandudno, Sadwn. Sa'i ryw brynawn arall neu rhyw noson arall, sa'r gêm wedi cael eb di cychwyn. A dyna ydy'r peth, ti'n rai ni edrych ar ydy. Ond chwarae teg i Thomas Owen, mae o wedi ceisio wneud i ora i gael y gêm a i fynd yn ei flaen. Ac dwi'n gobeithio sa'n niwl di codi, ond dyna'n ffodus na. Bryn ti gael ffrind newydd yma na?
Mi'n ddech poeni. So mae'n gyfeillgar i'r gath na. Mae Bryn yn gyfeillgar. Dwi'n gwybod hynny. Mae Bryn yn cael ei jabs. Dwi'n siŵr am y gath na. Fe sy'n poeni ni. Fan hyn. Ond unwaith eto, ni'n dal i aros am y penderfyniad terfynol fel petai. A falle bod y gair terfynol yn addas hefyd. Ni wedi gweld lot o bethau ar sgorio. Dwi wedi sylwebu ar cwpl o bethau gwahanol. Dwi rioed wedi sylwebu ar unrhyw beth fel hyn o'r blaen. Ond dyna ni, fel na maes, dim bêl dro da ni i siarad amdano. Felly ni siarad am yr anifel anwes wrth ochr Bryn Thomas. Ond
sgwrn flaen y car yn dadra iddi. Neu fo.
Ni angen penderfyniad nawr, Mark.
Mae di mynd rhy hir o'n dydy. Da ni'n gweld bod ti ddim di gwella. Dwi'n gwybod pam da ni'n dal yn sefyll yma yn trafod hyn. Mae'n wedi dweud y cyfle iddi. So mae'n hanner awr a mae rhaid i chwaraewr nôl allan i gnesu fyny. Ac so nhw'n dod nôl allan, ac wedyn, sa'n niwl yn gallu mynd o waith eto?
Ni'n mynd nôl y Sioned, sydd wrth ochr y cae. A Sioned fel pob gohebydd da, yn rhoi bus yn ei chlist, jyst i wneud siŵr bod ni'n clywed ni yn eglur. Os na benderfyniad, Sioned?
Mae'r gêm off, Dylan. Mae'r gêm wedi cael ei gohirio. Mae'r dyfarnwr Tom Owen wedi wneud y penderfyniad o'r ymodau heb wella. Dwi ddim yn ei synwyr, dwi ddim yn ddiogel i gyrru ymlaen chwarae heno yma. Felly, newyddion newydd dorri, mae'r gêm yma heno rhwng Quay Connah a'r Bala wedi ei gohirio.
Iawn, mae yna benderfyniad. Sioned, diolch yn fawr iawn. A leia mae rhywbeth pendant gyda ni. Y gêm i ffwrdd wedi gohirio. Y Bala nawr, dwi wedi colli cyfri sawl gêm sydd wedi cael ei gohirio. Y gêm yn Cynarfon wedi cael ei gohirio 2 gwaith, symud i Llandudno, yn dod fan hyn ar nos Fawrth, gan bod y gêm yna wedi cael ei gohirio. A mae hon wedi cael ei gohirio hefyd. Ond, i fod yn hollol, wel, yn ddi a gwyn, o ran y Bala sy'n gwisgo ddi a gwyn, dyn nhw dal ddim allan ohoni o ran y 6. Maen nhw'n dod nôl i chwarae hon eto. Allan nhw'n gwneud lot gwaith, mae'n dal cyfle dyn nhw.
Ia, mae dyn nhw'n chwarae mor sal eto ar y penwythnos, a fe rhaid nhw gael et i gilydd, mae'n siŵr ymarfer, nos iau, a gweld reid o'n i'n sortio un allan. Maen nhw'n gwybod be fydd arlyll y chwarae Quay Connah, y bocs 4 angen o'r cae, mae reid nhw'n sortio un allan. So mae reid nhw'n gael rhywun i...
Dorio dosbarth, achos ni wedi bod yn siarad drwy nos, ond eto, ni'n mynd i glywed ymateb mae'r rheolwr Quay Connah, Billy Painter gyda ni.
Billy, thanks for taking the time to come and talk to us. Your initial reaction to everything that's unfolded this evening?
Yeah, we knew the fog was going to be an issue. There was times where it cleared and then it came back, so there was a bit of an uncertainty whether the game was going to go ahead. But it started, but when it started, we played some good football in that 60 minutes. Yeah, we are disappointed. I think if the shoe was on the other foot, we were hoping that the game would get called off. But we'll have to wait and see when the game's going to get rearranged.
Were you comfortable that the game was given the green light to go ahead in the first place?
Yeah, it did have its doubts, but the referee made that decision. He said we'll give it the best possible opportunity to play. So I think when it got called on 60 minutes, could have gone a bit more, longer time into 70, and that made that decision. But look at it now, the fog has come down, it's thickened up.
Let's talk about the football. Billy, like you mentioned, 60 minutes, great performance from your players. Reflection, a proud manager from what you saw out there?
It was a very good team performance. Like I said before the game, we're in this position because we wasn't clinical enough. Today, for that hour, we was. Some well-worked goals. Phases of play were really good. The way we moved the ball, the players were really on it tonight.
Got to ask you about Rhys Hughes. Another 2 goals. He's taken to this team like a duck to water, hasn't he?
Yeah, we've given him the confidence to go and play. We've given him that freedom to showcase his ability, and he's thriving with that. 2 goals. It's been probably chalked off tonight, so we'll be gutted with that. But he's got that ability to go to that next level.
With results elsewhere, Billy, and this postponement, it does mean it will be bottom 6 football for Connah's Keith the second half of the season. Your reflections on that?
Yeah, like I said, we wasn't clinical enough in certain games where we should have been. Results are, again, how we not like to be, but it was down to us. We're in the situation. But tonight we were clinical, and we were always hopeful that, you know, Haverfordwest would get a result. I think a couple of fans got a bit excited with the Haverfordwest goal, but it got chalked off at the end. But our job was to fully focus on tonight, but tonight wasn't to be.
Billy, thanks for your time. Diolch.
Diolch i Billy Painter. I fod yn deg Connah gallu nhw ddim wedi gwneud llawer mwy i geisio cyrraedd y chwechad. Doedd ddim wedi digwydd, be bynnag o ddaw nawr, oherwydd y sgôr na ar Barc Jenner, pwynt i'r Bari, ond mae rhaid canmol nhw am heno hefyd. Mae'n diddorol gol sut bydden nhw'n gwneud am weddill y tymor. Mae rhaid canmol ymateb y rheolwr hefyd, yn cadw i ben dan yr amgylchiadau fel hyn.
Ia, mae'n anodd. Dydy, ac ella bod o'n gwybod ar ôl canlyniad y Bari, da ni'n gallu cyrraedd y chwech ucha, ond mae chdi rwan defnyddio'r perfformiad o'r awr yna heddiw yma i gamu mlaen i'r ail hanner o'r tymor, gorffan yn gryf, gorffan y seithfa tafla, gem ail gyfla, a da ni'n di weld yn y gorffennol do, faint o dima sydd wedi gorffan yn seithfed neu wythfed yn Bala fynd am y tro cynta. A mae'r momentum o ennill gema ganddyn nhw weithiau pan ti'n y chwech ucha, mae pobl di setlo, da ni'n gwybod bod ni'n fod yn y gyngrair tymor nesa, da ni'n y gem ail gyfla, o'r ni gyfle i chwaraewyr eraill gael munud ar y cae. Ond drwan, fydd Quay Connah mewn reid, gamu ymlaen, iwsio'r momentum yna, a gweld sydd fydden nhw, oedden nhw'n anodd i curo, fy'n ansicr.
Beth am y Bala, dewch i ni gael ymateb i'r rheolwr nhw, Colin Caton?
Colin, it's been quite the night. Your reaction to everything that's happened here this evening?
Yeah, it's a difficult situation. Obviously, we've had quite a few situations similar to this over the last few weeks. But it's just the weather. You can't help it. Nobody can help this. The fog's coming off the estuary, and just got to deal with it. But I feel sorry for Connah in a way, because they were outstanding. You know, they thoroughly deserved the 3 points in the first half, showing that they had, and they absolutely blew us away. But we've got a lifeline, and you know, we don't realise how lucky we are, and hopefully we can turn up a lot better than what we did tonight.
Just to go back a few hours ago, I asked Billy Painter the same question. Were you happy with the decision for the game to go ahead in the first place?
Not happy with the game to go ahead, but Tom said that he could see both sides of the pitch and all corners of the pitch when he was running about, but I couldn't see the far side. But that's irrelevant. Tom's experienced in a decision like this, and I always felt it was always going to be called off. There was pressure from our players because of the result was going against us to get the game off, and there was pressure from Connah to try and get the game on. And you know, you can't play football in it, and it's just sad. It's just nature the way it is. And like I say, we've had a bad run, a couple of games at our place, and then a game here tonight. But it's I feel, like I say, you know, I'm annoyed with our players, and I feel a little bit for Connah lads because they played so well.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, there is a lifeline now, but how do you reflect on the 60 minutes that you saw from your players tonight, Colin?
60 minutes that before half-time was not good enough, absolutely not good enough. Connah played really, really well, but, you know, I said to the lads at half-time, we play against TNS and we've beat them twice. We've played against Penabont, we've stopped them beating us, and we've let Connah blow us away, and we can't let that happen again in the next game. And we've got to be up for it, and we've got to be prepared better than what we were tonight.
Because, yeah, one more game to go, Colin, still, and what we do know after tonight's results elsewhere, a point against Connah in the last game before the split would be enough to see you in the top six for the second half of the season. You don't need much more of an incentive than that, do you?
No, a few of the lads are saying that we've got a lifeline in there, but they've got no lifeline unless they turn up and compete and stand off people and let them play. That's not acceptable, so it's important that we get ourselves right. A few of us need a good look at and prepare themselves ready for the next game.
Colin, I'll let you get home. Diolch.
Ie, diolch yn fawr iawn i'r ddau reolwr a'r swyddogion am popeth fynd. Mae'n fod noson wahanol. Just i gloi'r cyfan, diolch yn fawr iawn, Mark. Byddech chi syni, dim gol yn cael pwynt. Byddech chi. Ond pethau mae'n digwydd y mildroed.
Dyna pan fod y gath yma, ie.
Naw bywyd gan y gath, bywyd arall i'r Bala. Bu sgorio'n dilyn y cyfan. Gawn ni fwy o fanylion ddoe. Gêm fan hyn wedi gohirio gyda rhyw hanner awr ar ôl i'w chwarae. Mae hynny'n golygu bod nhw'n mynd i geisio eto. Y Bari wedi cael pwynt, felly tasau'r Bala'n cael gêm gyfartal, bydden nhw'n mynd i'r hanner ucha. Dyw'r Bari methu dathlu eto. Ni dal ddim wedi cael diwedd i'r rhan gyntaf y tymor. Diolch am eich cwmni, am noson ni wedi cael. Welwn i chi cyn bo hir.